KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station.
Here we go, Travis Rogers, DeMarco Farr.
The far side. You ready for the far side?
I'm in the far side.
You're in the far side.
Go.
Welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. So let's get to the fun, shall we? The Travis and DeMarco Show right now.
Yeah! Happy Friday to everybody. Sports, indeed. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Andy Kamenetsky in the house. DeMarco still doing his other responsibilities, his Rams responsibilities. It is day 2 of the NFL draft. How you feeling, Andy?
Feeling great.
Yeah, you
feeling
look
there's
good.
a lot going. Thank you.
You look great. You look fit. You look strong. You look ready to go.
You want to know which way the beach is, Travis?
Yeah, is it over there?
That way.
Yeah. Fantastic. There is so much stuff going on today, tonight. Draft continues. Rams did the most Rammy thing that they could do. We'll talk about that coming up a little bit. Dodgers, Skenes, and Yamamoto tonight, which is awesome.
You and Jorge are going to be
Me and
there.
Jorge will be in attendance. Looking forward to that. A great deal. We'll get into that. I need to figure out my eating plan. I don't know what your eating plan entails. I don't know if this is a guisados type of day or what's going on there, but we'll figure that out. Laker Game 3, Kings in Edmonton Game 3. There's going to be some staring at the phone going on.
It is a sports orgy today. A veritable sports orgy going on for sports fans. Not just in this city, but dare I say across the country, across the world.
It's for sickos who like to watch.
It is for sickos who like to watch. That's exactly right.
Absolutely.
Why do you think she mentioned such a phrase?
Well, because what I like to say is that for the sickos who like to watch the Locked On Lakers podcast,
Tell me
available
more.
5 days a week everywhere you get your podcasts, always free, never behind a paywall. But there are sickos out there who like to watch, and for those people,
Individuals.
for them, there is a YouTube component.
There is
you can
a
watch
YouTube
the
component.
podcast.
And
Wow,
so
902.
you and your brother Brian do the Lakers podcast.
Yeah.
Are there other teams that are covered?
It's my understanding. I know some people in the network. There's a Rams.
There's
There's a
matter of
Rams
fact,
podcast.
There is
as
a
well.
Rams version of Locked On.
With all the same offerings. You never have to pay for it. It's never behind a paywall.
Free and available wherever you listen to your
For the sickos who
podcasts.
like to watch that product,
yes,
on YouTube
there
as
is
well.
a Rams. It's Doug McCain does a wonderful job with
Well,
Locked On
he's
Rams.
got a co-host, Travis.
He does.
He's got a co-host.
Who is Doug? Is the backbone of it. Doug is there every day. I am
I was going to say
a frequent contributor.
I
shall we say?
I didn't want to go there,
Yeah,
but
no, it's
Doug
fine.
is the mainstay.
The reality of it is Doug is the mainstay, and I'm a frequent contributor.
Yeah, you're like Steve Mason on Mason and Ira.
Yeah,
You show up
yes,
sometimes.
that is exactly what it is. That is exactly.
But your
what
name's
it is.
first.
Well, of course it is. Yeah, much like Steve Mason, my name goes.
Well, you were
first.
there first.
I was.
You were there first.
I was there first.
Yes.
First.
Okay,
when
Travis.
the network launched.
With your Dodger game tonight, I have
Yes.
2 suggestions of places in the area that I like to frequent that are fun places to go.
Tell
so
me
there's
more.
one, there's several locations, but there's one close to Dodger Stadium called 33 Taps. There's one here in downtown. but
Where's okay?
It's in Silver Lake, but it's close by. People go there before Dodger games all the time.
I think I know.
And I think
yeah.
you can still walk. I know
Is it on
you love to
Sunset?
walk. Yeah, it's on Sunset.
Yeah, I've
and
seen it.
it's got a really good happy hour from 4 to 7.
Oh.
So if you get there at 4, it's like half off almost everything, including food, like a $9 pizza. It's really good. In addition, there's a bar called Bar Flores that is very cool, and I like to go there a lot.
Right across the street from Guisados, kind of. Is
no,
that the one?
it's kind of down the street.
Talking about the one with the chairs outside.
Yeah.
That's not it.
That's not it?
That's not it.
No,
Okay.
Bar Flores is a little more eclectic than that, but I
Okay.
think you'd like it because the drinks are very, very. There's not super expensive, but it's cool, and you can sit in the window and people
Okay.
watch.
All right. Bar
So-
Flores. I do like a good bar, Andy.
I know you do.
I do like a good bar.
With good ice.
So, my clear ice machine, perfect.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Talked about it the other day.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's good to hear, because I know you had recently purchased an ice maker and you were disappointed.
I was. It was user error, and it was a mechanical error.
Oh.
So I did 2 things. I bought my clear ice maker, and my freezer, as it turns out, which I didn't know at the time, was dying. So
I
my
may
freezer
have been
wasn't
wrong.
as cold as it needed to be. And you can't have other things around the box in the freezer. It needs to have an area so it can freeze properly. Once I fixed my freezer and properly arranged my Totino's pizza rolls, they got them out of the way, crystal clear as a piece of glass, Andy.
Congratulations.
I was so excited when I'm like, it works. Awesome. You're one of the few people that can appreciate my ice fanaticism.
You know what it is? To be totally honest, I'm not even a big ice guy, ice user.
Yeah.
But I love when people obsess over blank. Like, if your thing is your thing, I love the people who just lean into their thing.
Yeah.
And they don't care.
Oh, I don't care. I have more ways to make ice in a house than any person possibly should, but I'm
And
thrilled
if
with all
people
of
think
them.
you're a weirdo, whatever.
Not
You
my
got
problem.
your ice.
Yeah. I have ice pellet. I have ice clear. I have traditional ice cubes. I have ice monograms. I have ice spheres. I have big ice
See,
cubes.
I've said before, you should start an ice podcast.
There's a lot. I don't know if there's a podcast. There's a lot of ice things on the internet on how to do all of these things. They all stink. Mine would be.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
the clear ice standard of ice
because
podcast.
this is actually true. Like there is no such thing as too niche of a podcast.
You're right about
like
that.
That's one of the things that the podcast industry has really revealed. Like it's not about how popular or prevalent your subject is. Is there an audience for it?
Yep.
Does that audience care? The fact that your ice machine exists lets you know people actually care. There is an audience out there of ice enthusiasts that I don't think you're tapping into.
The next thing, like, if I ever had a windfall, okay, I know I would not buy a car. I would not buy an expensive vacation. I would not go and spend it on clothes or anything like that. There is a industrial ice maker that I would like to buy, but it is outrageously expensive and it's the size of a car. So I
Wow.
it's the size of it, like, you know what like a smart car. It's literally the size of a smart car.
How much does it run?
It has multiple thousands of dollars. Yes. So I can't justify it just to do it. I'm saying windfall. I'm saying lottery winnings.
This would be the shallowest GoFundMe ever. Help Travis Rogers get.
It's the
most
size of let me think here. It's about 5 feet high, and it's probably 5 feet wide and 2 feet deep. Wow. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's your Xanadu.
It makes bell, like, think of it like the Liberty Bell. That shape of ice with a little well in the middle of it, crystal clear. It's very expensive. Just saying. It's out there. Like you said, it exists for a reason.
Do you ever look at your three kids and think to yourself, had you three not come into my life and all the expenses, I would have my Xanadu ice machine.
I've got one off the college books in 2 weeks, and then I got another one for 3 more years, and then we'll see.
But the problem is, though, even though eventually you're going to stop paying for them, it's all the money you already invested
That's
in
true.
them. That could have been.
I would have had it by now.
Well, forget one. You might have had multiples by now.
Different shapes.
Yes.
Yes, we could.
You'd be a
different
double
shapes.
income, no kid, as people say, dinks.
Dinks, WCBI with clear bell ice.
Yeah, because
Yes.
the one people say a lot is dinkwad, which is a double income with a dog.
Oh, okay.
And there's dinks, which is double income, no kid. And those are those people that just raking it and having the best life at like 40, and they're just traveling the world with no kids.
I mean, that doesn't sound terrible. I love my kids.
But a
and
life
all,
without kids is also.
Yeah, it's
I'm
different.
picturing you after like one too many martinis, looking at Bobby and going, "You could have been my ice machine."
This is Xanadu Ice. You were Xanadu Ice, kid. That's what it could have been. It is a Cosm Ticket Friday. Experience the thrill of the playoffs like never before at Cosm. When you hear the cue to call, be caller number 7 with the ultimate Cosm playoff. 1 pair of tickets to watch the Lakers Game 4 at 12:30, and 1 pair of tickets to watch the Kings Game 4 at 6:30. That's all happening this Sunday, the 27th, at Cosm Los Angeles. Limited tickets available through Cosm.com or the Cosm mobile app. Tune in for your chance to win only at 710
In
ESPN.
the YouTube chat, Ann Esther just commented, "Travis is like Al Bundy with toilets
Yes.
when it comes to you and your ice."
There is nothing that I would not consider. The only thing limiting me from being a supervillain when it comes to ice is income. That's it. Otherwise,
You'd be an ice baron.
If I had money that didn't matter, right? Just like
F you money.
I can't spend it all. I got to buy dumb stuff. Ice. I'm not planes, boats, cars, I check out these. Like Jay Leno puts his cars in these garages. Yeah. I would get the same garages, only I would have the vintage
You'd
ice
have a
machines.
fleet of ice makers.
Yes, I want to have a guy that used to drive around on the wagon, bringing it to neighborhoods. I want to get one of those guys along the way.
I don't think you'd like Europe that much because I think they don't like ice at all.
They're not pro ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. USA.
America.
USA. All right.
But Bar Flores does have good ice too.
Oh, I'm in. What are you going to do tonight? Are you going to?
I'm going to be watching the Lakers.
Okay. So Lakers priority number one for you.
It's part of my responsibilities as the host of Locked On Lakers.
9-10.
Indeed, you are. So let's start there. 1-1. They looked pretty lousy in game one. And they, quite frankly, didn't look great in game two, but they won game two.
They looked great defensively.
They did look great defensively.
Outstanding defensively.
They were swarming. They were very physical. They were quick to the ball. My question isn't whether or not they can do that again. My question is whether they can do that again and again and again and again. That's the question.
It's a tough way to win a series. If they can't figure out ways to unlock their offense, I'm not saying they can't win the series, but I am saying the way they're going to have to win the series is really hard to do.
The rock fight version that we saw in game two feels like the path to series victory. The games that are played in the low hundreds, maybe even in the 90s, I know low hundreds seems like a ways away at this point, but that feels like the way, because to have Luka, LeBron, AR, and somebody else, you're going to need that fourth somebody else to chip in 12 or 15 or 16 points. That's assuming those other guys are all 25 plus.
Well, I feel like if Rui, he's going to be playing in a mask for the foreseeable future.
Right.
JJ Redick said during practice yesterday, it's TBD, but it's an undetermined length. It felt to me like Rui defensively in game two. Rui was fantastic.
He was.
He might have been the best defensive game I've seen him play in the playoffs at the very least. I thought the mask was bothering him offensively. There were several times where he passed
I've heard guys talk about that before. It really does affect the way that they see.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a few times where Rui passed up pretty open corner threes to swing the ball. And I know that can be a good play, but at the same time, Rui is a 40+% three-point shooter, and he's not exactly out there to do the little things. Rui's out there to and I'm not saying that to I'm not saying that to detract from Rui or to make fun of him. He is out there to provide tangible scoring, and he likes to shoot. When he's passing up shots, I'm wondering how much of that is I'm uncomfortable, probably vision-wise, with that mask.
I've heard others. The more you wear it, the more comfortable you get with it, the better you start to see. But almost without exception, when guys have to put things, whether it's baseball where they have to a helmet where you put that kind of that face thing on, it takes a minute to see correctly again. It's just there's things in your line of sight that typically weren't there before. It just takes a minute to get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, if Austin Reeves rediscovered his outside shot, that could be another 6 to 8 points, and maybe the Lakers could reach that mythical 100-point threshold.
Let's talk about that. How did they get to that? Because there is one option that they have that they really haven't deployed yet. Could they do it tonight? That's coming up next. Andy's in for DeMarco, 710 ESPN.
For ESPN.
islandsrestaurants.com.
All right, listen up. Whether you're out for a walk, hitting the gym, or just tackling your day, in this LA heat, chafing is no joke. Take my word for it. That's why you need Highlands Chafing Relief. This stuff is a game changer. Goes on like a cream, dries like a powder, and stays put even through sweat and water. No greasy mess, just all-day protection. If you've already got some chafing, Highlands soothes it fast with aloe, shea butter, and tea tree oil. Don't let chafing slow you down. Grab Highlands Chafing Relief at Walmart or Target right now.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Hey guys, what's up? It's George Sedano. Waiting is never fun. Usually nothing good happens when you wait. My friend Jacob in the law offices of Jacob and Ronnie want to make sure you don't wait after an accident. Immediately after an accident, before talking to the insurance company, call Jacob, man. Jacob and his team will do all the work, make all the phone calls, handle the paperwork, set up the doctor's appointments, whatever the case may be. And when you speak to the insurance company first, it's a big mistake. Because you know why? They may later use your words against you. However, Jacob and his team, they'll guide you through the process, get you the compensation you deserve, and you don't have to pay Jacob unless he wins. Nothing out of pocket. Free. Gratis. So if you're injured in an accident, the first name, the first thought, the first call should be Jacob. Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. The consultation is free. That's right. Free. I told you. Gratis. Don't wait. Call Jacob 24 hours a day at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Call him 844-24-JACOB or visit him online at calljacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Hey, it's Mace. Looking for some fun and excitement? You got to check out Chumba Casino. It's 100% free to play. No purchase required. Enjoy hundreds of thrilling social casino games anytime, anywhere, like bingo, slingo, slots, and solitaire. Get in the action. Play now for a chance to redeem some serious prizes at ChumbaCasino.com.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Delaware, Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN. Your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
Go. That's the first production note. We're going to have this guy perform our theme song.
First guest.
He's available.
What's his name's Robert something or other, right?
It's
Ice.
Rob Van Winkle.
Rob Van Winkle. That's got to be a stage name too, right? That seems less likely to be real than Vanilla Ice.
Or his parents suck.
Yeah.
Because it's so close to Rip Van Winkle.
Well, I mean,
Be Dave Van Winkle.
Yeah, be Steve Van Winkle.
You can't be an R Van Winkle.
His given name is Robert Matthew Van Winkle.
Go by Matt.
Go by Bert.
Bert? Like Rob Bert?
Yeah, go by Bert Van Winkle.
No, we don't have any Berts
That
anymore.
sounds like a lounge singer.
Yeah.
Bert Van Winkle.
I say, though, in first name Bert, the first Bert that pops into your mind.
Sesame Street.
Bert and Ernie. And you guys won't. Bert? Game show host?
Well, no, actually, to be honest, Burt Reynolds.
Oh, Burt Reynolds. But he's a Burt B-U. I'm talking B-E. Burt Convey. Game show host Burt Convey.
Yeah.
Had a giant perm, hosted like 48 game shows in the 70s and 80s. He was everywhere.
Yes, he was.
But Burt and Ernie were the gold standard.
Well, for B-E-R-T.
Right.
For B-U-R-T.
B-U, Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah. Or I bet, though, when he's around certain people, he's Burt.
Burt Dern.
Burt Dern.
Burt Dern.
I
Burt
love it.
Duran sounds like a car dealership owner in Texas.
Yeah.
Burt Duran.
Yeah. Or a character actor in the 60s.
But you got to say it as Burt Duran.
Burt Dern.
Burt Dern.
Burt Duran.
According to the Wikipedia summary, Vanilla Ice is, quote, credited with breaking down racial barriers in rap and hip-hop for future white rappers, most notably Eminem.
Ah, he's a trailblazer.
He was.
I see.
He was
And
kind
then
of in
Jack
his own
Harlow
right.
and all the other great white
we
rappers
wouldn't have Jack Harlow if it were not for Vanilla Ice.
Oh, no, not Jack Harlow.
Vanilla Ice walked so Jack Harlow could run.
Indeed, and here we are in a rap utopia.
Do you remember his movie Cool as Ice?
Vaguely. I also remember him on MTV with Chris Kattan, where there was like a riot on the stage.
But what about like Marky Mark? Didn't he do stuff earlier too?
Yeah.
Well, the Funky, I want to say that the Funky Bunch, that's who Marky Mark led the Funky Bunch.
Yes, of
I
course.
want to say that was a couple years after the heyday of Vanilla Ice, or at least
feels like it.
I think Vanilla came first. One of the funniest things you can find, it's on YouTube, is there was a segment on one of the MTV shows where Vanilla Ice is asked about the Under Pressure sample, the Queen, do, and he's trying to explain how Ice Ice Baby is not a complete
the same.
rip-off.
Yes.
And he's like, theirs goes do 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 do. Do 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 do. Mine goes do 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 do. Det do 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 do. It's not. It's not the same.
It's a syncopation.
It's not the same. Like he keeps repeating it. It's not the same. It's hilarious.
He's hilarious.
He's just better to completely take it. Say yes, we sampled it, and it's a good sample.
Well, it's
a great
obviously
song.
sampled.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no difference. You can throw in the extra. And it doesn't change a thing.
No, it's not the same, Travis.
Well, according to Mr. Rob Matthew Van Winkle, it is not
Again,
the same.
it's the R-O-B. It's the three letters starting with an R.
Yeah.
Van Winkle.
Yeah.
You can't be that.
No, Chuck Van Winkle would be fine.
Chuck Van Winkle.
Or even Robbie Van Winkle. You can't be Rob Van Winkle.
Rob's worse than Robbie, but we got to get away from the R. The R is the part that I'm sticking with. All right, so Game 3, Lakers and T-Wolves tonight. And I bet my car on it. I think it's incredibly close. I think it's going to go 7 games. I think that this is a series. If you played it 4 or 5 times, you're going to get a different winner, and a different style each time. It feels like the Lakers are going to try to muck it up defensively, and they're going to play a very short rotation. They basically played 5.5 guys in game.
They're playing 6.
You counting Gabe as the 6th guy? Okay.
I mean, Gabe's playing enough minutes.
He only played 19 minutes.
Yeah, but those are rotation minutes.
Okay, so we'll give Gabe. We'll call it 6. Do they throw in a 7th, Andy? Do you, especially if you're struggling to find scoring? If Austin Reeves doesn't find his shot the way that we're all hoping that he does Dalton Connect get a few minutes to try to get a hot hand?
Well, he's really there's a couple, I guess he's the only new thing that you can introduce to try to juice the scoring. Like, obviously, I think they can be more disciplined when they run their sets. Like, the first half in Game 2, their offense was actually cracking, and they were moving the ball. I think they were much more disciplined in just running an actual offense. Second half, I think they fell into a lot more of the ISO stuff, and I think that's when their offense, not just in this series, but in general, falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
It would be helpful if they could get Jackson Hayes going at all, just because he's a cheap source of points.
He is.
Like you can get anywhere from like 6 to 10 points just on lobs, and they have not been able to unlock that. It'd be helpful if either Austin's outside shot got going, or I think Rui or DFS got more shots on volume. But the only thing they can do different than what they've been doing now is play Dalton.
It's funny. I want to go back to Jackson Hayes here for a second. It seems during the regular season, and it has not happened in the first 2 games against Minnesota, but to what your point, and especially early in games where teams are so focused on LeBron, they're so focused on Luka, and even AR, that Jackson Hayes is almost unaccounted for near the rim, and they're just and it would be all of a sudden like he's got 10 points, and we've barely started the second quarter, and they're all just lob dunks. And to your point, it is that there's 10 points that you don't really count on. They have not been able to get that done, and he's got the thing that I always kind of try to. And again, this is totally subjective, and me watching from a distance, and it just feels like he's got big eyes. It feels like, whoa, this is different. This is moving really fast. It's very physical. The stakes are much higher. And that's why, as poorly as Austin Reeves was in Game 1, as poorly as Austin Reeves played in I shouldn't say as poorly. He got better, but it still wasn't the best version of him. I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about him being caught up in this. He's done it enough that it's not that big of a deal. With Hayes, I think it's just kind of, whoa, dude, this is a level of intensity that I am not familiar with.
Well, it doesn't help that the Timberwolves happen to have one of the best lob neutralizers in the game with Rudy Gobert. He is somebody that can take away that particular option for the Lakers. And if you don't have it in Jackson, you don't have it.
Right.
There's nobody else that is a true lob threat, vertical spacer, rim runner. It's either Jackson or nobody. So that, the page of the playbook that is entitled lobs is just taken out of the playbook altogether. They can't do that. So again, it gets back to the idea of if you're looking to juice things and doing it differently, it's really Dalton or nobody.
I wouldn't hate let's try this for 5 minutes let's try it. Let's see if we're getting good looks, and even if the shot doesn't go down, if he's open, let's keep trying it because he can shoot.
Here's the thing: he will be guarded.
Yeah,
if you put Dalton out there, even though he's a rookie, even though he'd be entering the rotation, I don't think Minnesota's defense would say, I need to see him make shots. He's too established of a shooter and too established of a scorer. Just the idea that he would be guarded could unlock some stuff.
How great would it be if here we are, fast forward the tape several months, and Dalton Connect, the guy that not only they did trade, and then all of a sudden just got unwound, and you had to bring him back in, and what had to have been wildly awkward to bring him back into the fold at best, if not just downright, this isn't going to work, and he becomes the difference to you winning a series or not.
That'd be pretty cool. The other thing about this too, and we're way too early to even really start to know the outcomes to think about it, but what's going on in this series right now with Hayes struggling to make an impact, it does make you wonder whether or not the Mark Williams thing, or just having Jackson Hayes as your only center, but in particular the Mark Williams thing, because they could have had him, whether that's going to come back to bite him in this series. Long term, who knows? And we don't know what was in the medicals that clearly spooked them.
Sometimes the instant reaction is right? When they made the deal, or when the deal happened, when we all kind of figured out that Luka Doncic was actually coming here, and it wasn't that Shams wasn't hacked, that it was actually real, that he was coming, the first basketball reaction to it was, boy, they're not very big. Or they're big, but they don't have that rim protection. They're really thin.
They're lacking traditional size.
At traditional size, and we'll see what happens next. Maybe they can make a deal, but if this is what they're going to go with, they're going to have trouble defending. They're going to have lack traditional size. All of these things, and that's what is happening. Like that first reaction, and hey, we'll see what they do in the first offseason. We'll see who they surround them with. That first read may have been exactly right.
And it doesn't help that Minnesota is one of the biggest teams they could face. Like I will say this: if they manage to get through this series, then
it opens up a little bit.
Well, it opens up, and it's also confirmation that they can likely get through whatever team that's bigger than them, because they're not going to encounter many teams, if any, that are collectively bigger than the Wolves. That's a big team.
This is the proverbial, and not that the Timberwolves are the best team in the West, but it may have been the trickiest matchup for them in the West.
They've had some really bad luck with that lately.
Yeah.
Really bad luck.
They have had some bad luck. They drew Denver a bunch of years ago, which, by the way, might have been the perfect draw now that for the entire regular season, it's stay away from Denver, stay away from Denver.
I think this year they would have been rightly heavily favored against Denver.
Let's talk about Denver, because I think that Denver is pretty informative of where the Lakers are right now because of what's happened to Denver over not just this season, but the last couple of seasons. That's coming up next. Andy's in for DeMarco. It's Travis DeMarco on 710 ESPN, and it is a Cosm Ticket Friday. You're going to want to experience the thrill of the playoffs like never before at Cosm. 877-710 ESPN. Give us a call right now. Caller number 7 will win the ultimate Cosm playoff prize pack, which includes 1 pair of tickets to watch the Lakers Game 4, 12:30, and 1 pair of tickets to watch the Kings Game 4. That's at 6:30. It's all happening on Sunday the 27th at Cosm Los Angeles. Limited tickets are available through Cosm.com or the Cosm mobile app. Call for your chance to win only from 710 ESPN. Call right now, 877-710 ESPN. It's all coming up. It's Trav DeMarco, 710 ESPN.
The Kings clobbered the Oilers in Game 2 of this first-round best-of-7 series, scoring 3 power play goals en route to a 6-2 win.
And listen to the Crypto.com Arena crowd. The Kings win Game 2, a final score of 6-2 here in downtown L.A.
Now the series shifts to Edmonton, Alberta, as the Kings search for a commanding 3-0 lead. Listen live at 7 p.m. on the all-new ESPN LA app.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Cap here. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt. With years of experience and a passion for helping people, if you've got water damage at home, call Avner Gatt today. 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. That's 818-917-5256. Avner Gatt. Your claim, our game.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. And our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Our steamed vegetables and signature salads are made fresh for you. Our sauces are more flavorful for you, from sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Just as every point matters, every detail counts in our meticulously crafted vehicles. Experience luxury at the top of its game. Welcome to Cadillac of Beverly Hills, the #1 Cadillac dealer in the Western region for the 3rd year in a row. Come and check out the incredible selection of new and pre-owned vehicles today at our showroom, 8767 Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills, and at CadillacBeverlyHills.com.
Playoff hockey is back, Kings fans. Now is your chance to secure your seats to see the LA Kings in Round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs at Crypto.com Arena. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at lakings.com/playoffs.
Hey, it's Travis. Every legend has a story, and those stories are kept at Legends Attic in Claremont. Legends Attic is the premier sports memorabilia gallery and store that offers a unique blend of rare and iconic collectibles. It's a community for sports fans and collectors, so go check it out for yourself. Legends Attic, 619 West Foothill Boulevard in the city of Claremont. Visit legendsattic.com and be sure to follow Legends Attic on all social media platforms so you can stay connected to know about their upcoming signings and special events with Hall of Famers and pro players.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. In the market for new flooring? Why pay more at big box stores? At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, today is a deal, no gimmicks. Call 866-62-FLOOR or visit them online at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net. No sale beats wholesale.
SoFi Personal Loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi Personal Loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Another trailblazer. Just the pioneers.
What's his
Vanilla
real
Ice.
name?
Yeah, his name's fine. Mark Wahlberg's a perfectly fine name. Rob Van Winkle was Rip Van Winkle the guy that slept forever?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Did
know
he
that.
steal kids?
I don't know. I know he
Which
fell
is the
asleep.
one that is the finger prick and then steals the kids?
Rumpelstiltskin.
That's who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he did?
I think so.
Rumpelstiltskin stole children?
I don't know. They all kind of run together.
Dude, fairy tales and stuff like that from back in the day, dark as hell. Like, they were really meant to just scare children into being well behaved.
Okay, so yes, Rip Van Winkle is a Dutch-American villager who fell asleep. Upon waking 20 years later, he discovers a world transformed by the American Revolution.
Oh.
So that's a more Americanized. Rip Van Winkle is American. Rumpelstiltskin, I think, is the
Yeah, I got Rumpelstiltskin wrong. Rumpelstiltskin was the guy that had the lady turn the straw into gold, and until she said his name, she was under his control.
He's like Beetlejuice.
That's maybe what I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Okay, and then who steals the kids? Everybody.
They all Chitty Chitty Bang Bang steals the kids. That guy that goes around with a dog catching cage wagon, only it's for children. Hey, show this to your 5-year-old. He'll love it. It's got a flying car. Yeah, but what about where they're grabbing kids up off the street? What about that part?
And Hansel and Gretel too.
Hansel and Gretel, they tried to cook them in the oven.
And stories of old, whether you're talking about the Grimm's fairy tales or the Bible even, it's all just about keeping people in order.
Yes.
They're all just about scaring people into behavior.
In the Bible, they had. I didn't know it. The Bible, they
I
cut.
thought it was in the Batty Bowl. I was like, which one's that?
They threatened to cut a baby in half.
Well, they couldn't make a decision on who
figure
should
out
get him.
To figure out who the real
That's
father
right.
is.
That's right.
Don't cut the baby in half.
Well, it's like Dwight Schrute. Know your rules. No, they're all about, hey, you better not freelance or something bad's going to happen.
I'm telling you, all of these stories of old, and this back too, when nobody could explain how things actually happened, right? Because we didn't know anything. They were all just about scaring the living hell out of everybody into compliance.
And I'm going to need some money.
You entangled kidnapping, bro.
They're all
up there.
And, for the ever and ever, the Disney, the opening scene was, okay, we're going to kill the mother, and then we'll go from there, right?
Only want to pay one adult actor.
Right. Even the Nemo, the opening scene, the mom gets it from the Barracuda.
When my daughter was little, we were watching Finding Nemo, and I could see for the first 15 or so minutes of this movie, she was really anxious and stressed. And I was like, Lily, is there something wrong? And I came to realize the idea that this little fish being separated from parents was scaring her.
Sure.
And so we turned the movie off. Finding Nemo ended up frightening her.
That scene where the Barracuda comes out of the dark is terrifying. It's because Marlin and whatever the mom's name was, they're having a great day. And then all of a sudden, here he comes.
Okay.
Something bad's about to happen.
Here's the conspiracy theory behind that. Again, so sorry, Disney. But apparently, barracudas don't eat clownfish. You know who eat clownfish? Clownfish.
Oh, they're cannibalistic?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so then it's
well, that's not as good of a movie.
The theory is that this is a Marlin fever dream, that he actually killed his wife and many children, and then
That's
Nemo's
dark.
just there. Yeah. That's what most conspiracy theories about Disney movies are.
All right, what's on tap today on 710? Sedano and Cap are live from LAFD Air Operations in Van Nuys, leading up to Lakers pregame at 5 o'clock. Game 3, Minnesota tonight, tips off at 6:30. And over in Edmonton, the Kings coverage begins at 6:30 as well. You can listen to them all on the ESPN LA app. Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Michelob Ultra, it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Please enjoy responsibly. So the Denver Nuggets are very lucky that they're not in an 0-3 hole. The Clippers kind of blew the end of game 1, and the Nuggets were able to take advantage of it and grab it. And in the 2 games since then, the Clippers have clearly been the better team. They drilled the Nuggets last night, beat them by 34 points. Wasn't close. Just mismatch. And Jokic had another 20-point triple-double. He's doing his thing, but it's a mismatch.
And that crowd at Intuit is into it. I mean, they are really, really going crazy.
They got a good team.
Yeah, they do.
They got a good team that's playing really well. They're well coached. They're kind of deep. They've got two really, really high-level stars in Kawhi and Harden. They got a really good next option in Zubac. They're
Norm
good.
Powell's
Norm
a good
Powell's
player.
a good.
They've got a lot of good defensive role players, shooters.
I want to get to the Clips in a second. The Nuggets should be the thing that you tell yourself every time you think you got a long way to go, and that you have a lot of opportunities to go do the thing that you want to do. The Nuggets went from winning the NBA championship and kind of going through it relatively easily, about as easily as you could reasonably hope for in a playoff run, right? To out in the second round the next year, to they're very likely to be out in the first round this year. They fired their longtime coach. They fired their general manager. They are in a place where they're kind of no man's land. They're the best player in the league, and they're going to be out in the first round. Their second best player doesn't play a ton. When he plays, he's pretty good. Their third and fourth best players are heading in the wrong direction. This blank happens fast, and that's why when you get Luka, LeBron, and you got to go for it. This idea that, well, we're going to have a bunch of bites at it, yeah, maybe, or maybe you're the Nuggets and you get one shot at it.
I mean, the Luka piece of this with the Lakers, assuming they end up banging out a long-term extension with him,
sure.
This is about as good as you can get in terms of trying to set up a real opportunity to win now, even if they're one of the dark horse contenders in the league. I think they're still, they have an opportunity in front of them, and then hopefully with Luka, an opportunity that lasts another 5-7 years.
Sure.
But you are correct in the sense that you don't know the future. You don't know how long that runway really is. You have no idea how healthy guys will stay. You have no idea how long a coach's voice will resonate.
Yep.
Like Michael Malone was clearly working for this team until it stopped working.
Wasn't. Yeah.
And then they had to get rid of the guy. Like Calvin Booth looked like a really good GM for a while until they had to get rid of the guy.
They're in a place now where it's got to be bizarre. They have the best player in the league, and they're kind of like, what are we? What do we do from here? And they're the most current example of how quickly it goes. But the Lakers are the Lakers, and again, because it was the bubble created so many weird memories and vibes. They won. They were the best team that year. They won in the bubble. They had LeBron James playing peak LeBron James basketball, and Anthony Davis the best he ever was, right? And it felt like as long as you got those two guys, we're going to be good. They haven't been good since. Or they haven't been that level of good since. Anthony Davis is on a different team right now. It happens fast.
Well, it can happen fast or and I realize what I'm about to say is, the mother of all mistakes, but the Russell Westbrook trade, putting aside the fact that it was a bad decision, you had to unwind it, you had to, all that stuff. You don't get that time back. Like the time that they lost with trying to make it work with Russ, then trying to figure out the best deal. Like Rob Pelinka, all things considered, did a pretty good job unwinding that deal.
Best you could have reasonably hoped for.
Right. But you don't get that time back.
A year and change went off the books.
Well, especially, too, it's not just a year and change. It's a year and change when one of your star players is already, as well as he's playing, he is on the back
He's
end
in
of his
uncharted
career.
territory.
Right. You don't know how long you can plan for that. And he and Anthony Davis started becoming, I think, more difficult to build around together.
Yep.
Like they started having more redundancies as players. But the Russ thing, that was always the biggest danger, beyond fit, beyond whatever. Like if this doesn't work, you don't get that time back.
And that's, what I still think they're going to beat Minnesota. I think they'll win that series. We'll see how it plays out from there. And maybe they hit it, it's not totally out of the realm of possibility that they hit it right away. But this, hey, we got some time. You may or you may not. You just don't know. And LeBron is the ultimate wild card in this because, look, he was the best player on the floor for periods of time this season. Probably will be next season for periods of time. But how frequent that is, how often that is, and how high the high is, nobody knows. He doesn't know. The Lakers don't know. And you got to try to do it now. Like the Nuggets are, I was watching last night going, they're in no man's land. And that happened like that. I cannot get over how quickly they went. Last year going into the playoffs, Nuggets team, they're out in the second round. I know. And not by a fluke. They just got beat by a team that took them apart.
A team that heading into that series, I don't think anybody thought the Timberwolves would be the team that took them out. The Timberwolves were still the team that everybody was trying to figure out why the hell did they give up all that for Rudy Gobert.
Right. And, well, they may still be asking that a little bit, but
I'm just saying, like,
your
nobody
point is a good one.
pegged them as the team to start the decline of the Denver Nuggets that we had been talking about as potential dynasty.
Yeah. How many is Jokic going to get? Well, maybe one is the answer to that. And what are we drafting today?
So in honor of the 200,000 something people that showed up the NFL draft, we're going to snake draft sporting events you don't want to be at.
I got a long list of those. This is going to be a good day. And by the way, Andy likes the draft. Andy likes to be here on days we draft. I like draft. We're going to draft next. It's Trav. Andy's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
It's the night that an All-American becomes a top pick in the National Football League.
The 2025 NFL Draft is now officially open.
Today is rounds 2 and 3 live from Green Bay, and we'll bring them to you. Join Cappy, Marcus Grip, myself, Chris Morales, producer Lindsay Baseball, and more, broadcasting live from the Rams Draft House in Van Nuys. That's right, the official Rams Draft headquarters. We're going to be there, bringing you all the moments of rounds 2 and 3. And when we go to Lakers coverage on 710, we'll continue our coverage live on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles. And don't forget, Saturday, we've got the NFL Draft all day long, courtesy of ESPN Radio. We are your home of the Los Angeles Rams and the NFL Draft. 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Is it time to downsize? Selling your home doesn't have to be a hassle. With Seller's Advantage, skip agents, commissions, and costly repairs. Get a fair, competitive cash offer without worrying about the details falling through. Chris Chavez, a real customer, says, quote, Seller's Advantage offered me more than I expected. The process was fast, easy, and much better than using a realtor. End quote. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
It is a Friday. It's 9:45. It's the day of the draft.
Well, yes.
The day of the second and third rounds today, or second, third, fourth?
I think it's 2 and 3 today.
2 and 3 today.
I believe so.
So exciting day for a bunch of NFL hopefuls, but it's also reminding me about how miserable it sometimes looks to be in large crowds of people, especially large crowds of people just waiting for nothing to happen. Is absolutely wonderful. So we're at a draft.
It's a snake draft.
What is
large gatherings of people that you don't want to be at.
Okay.
Large crowds, groups, events that you do not want to be at. Okay.
I like this.
Order is Emily, Travis, Andy, Jorge, 3 each, 12 total. Because I look at the graphic, right, Anthony? Thank you. Okay. I'm going first.
No way.
So, okay, it doesn't happen all the time. I have a random order generator. My first one is one that maybe when I was a kid, I was like, oh, that seems fun. I see it on the TV. It seems like a place that's like, you know, you gotta go to New York City. It's really cool. But I think once reality sets in and you have the idea that you're not going to be able to go to the bathroom for a long period of time, and all you're doing is waiting for a ball to drop in the middle of Times Square, which is also hell on earth. So I'm going to do Times Square New Year's Eve is a place that I do not want to be at.
When my daughter was little, we let her stay up one night. She wanted to stay up till midnight, and my wife wanted her to see the ball drop thing. She was so disappointed by it because she thought they were actually going to drop the ball from the top of the Empire State Building.
Yes.
It's not the Empire State Building. Yeah. It's just a building in Times Square.
It is. She thought they were going to actually drop the ball from that
Indiana
all the way
Jones
to the ground.
And have it shatter into a million pieces.
Roll or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, she thought that would be awesome. She just saw
That
this
would
thing
be.
go down slow. She's like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
And
She was angry.
Always cold or rainy
Yes.
or wet, and you're close to people that are all tourists.
terrible.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, that could be a consensus number one overall pick. That could be Peyton Manning. That's really, really good.
Travis, your pick.
I think it's the impetus of why we're doing this thing today. The NFL draft. That I love NFL football. I love going to cover the Rams. I've been to playoff games, NFC championship games. So I've been blessed to be to some Super Bowls along the way, and the events are great. I like going to Rams training camp during the preseason. Do you know why? They're playing football. They have on football uniforms. They're out there getting ready to do the thing, or they're actually doing the thing. At the crux of what they did last night, they're just reading a list of names. Nothing really happens other than we will take this. The Tennessee Titans will take Cam Ward. Okay. He hasn't done anything yet.
And you have no idea what they're going to do.
Yeah.
This person, and also a lot of these people might be people you haven't even heard of.
I want to know who my team gets, but attending it as an event is so uninteresting.
Well, especially
to me.
now that they're starting to become a trend of even guys expecting to get picked in the first round staying at home.
Sure.
Like doing it with their families, big gathering, which great for them, but now you're really just sitting around watching some guy in their living room.
I want to watch Travis Hunter play football. I don't need to see him walk across the stage and hug Roger Goodell. He didn't. That's uninteresting to me. I don't need to see that with my own eyes.
maybe think day one could be fun just because it's the biggest stars. Day 3, that would be the worst. Is
Travis
there even
Hunter's a
anything
huge
to
star.
attend?
Just saying, oh, there he is. Okay, what do I care?
No, I'm not dying to go.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, your pick.
I thought about something like the NHL draft just because I don't even know who any of these people are, but I don't know if they actually do anything at that. So I am going to take a sporting event that I cannot imagine sitting through and why you would be there. Pick a city, any marathon. Being one of the people that's just standing around waiting for people to run past them.
Okay, Boston, they shut it down and everyone doesn't work and everyone drinks all day. Boston's fun.
No, that sounds awful.
Okay.
Just sitting around with a bunch of angry, drunk Bostonians waiting for people to run past.
That's just Tuesday in Boston.
Right, exactly.
They're just,
but that just
that's
sounds
what they do.
boring. It sounds like you're just sitting around waiting for nothing particularly exciting to happen.
I've been to a marathon, and I've gone to 2 marathons, both times for the same reason. My brother runs in marathons, so I've gone to watch and support my brother run marathons. You see him for not even a minute. You see him for 30 seconds as they run by, and you hey, way to go, keep going. Then you drive another 10 miles down the course. You get back out of your car. You go back. It's rough. It's rough.
It sounds.
That's
so
a
boring.
great choice.
So boring.
That's a great choice. Like, I want to support my brother, but I'll send him a text after.
All right, Jorge, you have 2.
Okay, so you mentioned something growing up as a kid. I used to watch the Rose Parade. And I would think, oh, that's going to be fun to go watch. And then, Brenda would be like, you know what, we went, it sucked. And then I would hear stories, and it's the worst thing you can attend. So the Rose Parade is up there for me.
Let me scratch that off my list because it was literally my next pick.
And then the other one, Anthony, Anthony kind of walked in here and mentioned something, and I was like, come on, Anthony, you can't say that stuff before we begin. So going to a presidential inauguration or whatever, like when the president gets inaugurated.
Oh.
Like, what? Like,
have you ever done that, Andy?
Like, we know he's the president already. Like, why do I have to be there?
You've been to an inauguration?
But I was 4 years old.
Okay.
So
you were unaware of your surroundings.
Okay, so I kind of remember. I have small memories of it. I remember big crowd of people. I remember being on my dad's shoulders. I remember that
Which
stuff.
president?
2000. So it was Bush.
Okay.
Bush W. And I remember like hanging out at my parents' friend's house afterwards and taking a cute little photo. But like, I don't know. I don't think I need to be there.
Let me go back to something that Jorge said. As someone who grew up in Arcadia, California, which is basically the end of the Rose Parade, like right before the Rose Parade goes through Pasadena, ends in Pasadena, but it basically ends right before you get to Arcadia. It's down the street from where I grew up. And the floats are actually very, very beautiful and interesting and intricate how they do it. But attending the Rose Parade is rough, boy. It is a long, cold, boring thing. And they go there. Once you've seen the marching band, kind of good. Where goes some more horses? Yeah, okay. Watch that on TV.
Never been, not even sort of interested in going.
All right, Andy, your next pick.
Instincts are right.
I'm next. I've been to this once before at the proper time. I was in college. I have more than since aged out of it, and it sounds like hell. Mardi Gras.
Oh, I've done Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras, if you're in your 20s, maybe your teens, great.
Yeah.
Once you pass about 25, that is just hell on earth.
I think I was 27 when I went.
I was 21.
Yeah.
21 was a lot of fun. Did the whole... Although, you know what? I regret I did not indulge in nearly enough real New Orleans food.
Yeah.
College student, you don't have as much money. Other than like one nice meal.
Yeah.
I ate at the Popeyes next to our hotel like 3 times a day.
But hey, I mean, you could do worse.
Popeyes was good.
Louisiana had a fried chicken, I guess.
Mardi Gras, that type of crowd, that type of drunkenness, no.
That is a very specific moment in time.
Yep.
All right, Travis.
Okay. Not unlike yours at all. It's very similar. I thought as you were setting it up, I'm like, Andy's going to... Bingo. Ding, ding, ding,
That's
ding,
such a
ding,
good
ding,
one.
ding.
Coachella's on my list of possibilities.
That's the one that look, A, music, what do I care?
None of your business.
None of my business. 2, crowds of people. Could be hot, could be freezing cold.
Like in Indio.
It's in the middle of the desert in a giant polo dirt grass kind of situation. You're trapped. You get in there. Getting out of there is virtually impossible. I have no interest in the acts. I have no interest in the attendees. Coachella.
That's a good one.
I thought hard about Coachella.
Yeah, I thought that's where you're going.
That one is absolutely terrible. So I'm going to go kind of in the same vein in these last 2 picks. And I don't even know if people really do it the same way that they used to do. But I remember when I was growing up in high school and middle school and everything, it's like MTV would show this and everything. I want to say like spring break. Just the general idea of like college spring break.
Yeah.
Mostly in Florida, Cabo, etc.
South Padre Island,
Yeah, exactly.
Water guns.
I'm gonna say like MTV Spring Break, but like catch-all of like college spring break.
Very good.
I never participated in it either. I was just like, I'm gonna go to Hilton Head. I'm gonna have fun with my friends and not do anything else. Okay, so that's my second pick. My last pick is going to be one that might be surprising because I do like this sport a lot. It was probably my most passionate sport for a long time. But the actual event of going to this, unless you have really good seats, because of the stadium it takes place in, I do not want to be there at the Final Four.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there because unless you're really good seats, you're super
They're
far away from
playing
the
a
action.
basketball game in a football stadium.
Yeah.
You can't
see anything.
You can't see anything.
And unless your team's in it, which is exciting, you're probably heartbroken in some way, shape, or form. It sounds miserable. But my team did win it one time, but Final Four is my third pick.
That's a really good pick because the basketball is meant to be played in a 20,000 seat arena-ish, and even that's a big basketball stadium. You playing it at the Alamo Dome where there's 70,000 seats, it's bananas.
Travis.
All right, my last one. I know it's a piece of Americana. I know that it is. It looks like a fun time if you like to be sunburned and wasted and trapped. The Daytona 500. No, thank you. I've been to races, and I don't. There are 2 moments that a race is really fun. Gentlemen, start your engines, and they fire those things up, and it's super loud, and you're like, whoa, the power, it's awesome. The first couple of laps that you see with your own 2 eyes, where they're going 200-plus miles an hour, is really something else, because the speed does not translate on TV how fast they're actually going. The problem with it is they keep going, and going, and going.
I've been to the Indy 500. It's so boring.
It's awful. And they're 3 hours if it's a fast race. No, so the Daytona 500 for me. No thanks.
All right, Andy, last pick.
So many choices still on the board. I thought about the Indy 500, but it's too close to the Daytona 500. It's essentially the same race, just different cars. I'm going to say anything where a Paul brother competes.
Great choice.
Anything involving Jake Paul,
Great choice.
Logan Paul. It's going to be a BS fight. It's going to be something where the crowd is douchey, where the participants are douchey. Anything involving a Paul brother. Hard pass.
Love it. Love it.
And hard stamp of approval on that pick in this round.
Thank you.
Jorge.
Just because this is not my thing. There's too many rules to this. You can't do this. You can't do that.
It's aggregate?
Not aggregate. I mean, the rest of the world gets it except a couple knuckleheads here. But
for instance?
I just said a couple. The Masters. I mean, if you throw a party and you want to invite me and we can have drinks and food, I'm all for it. But I don't want to be there. There's nothing for me to,
party with
admire
rules.
there.
The Masters is a super complicated one because what you're describing is 100% right. It's 100% right. And if you're like, man, the Masters ain't for me, I get it. I might cut off my left arm to go because I have to see it. I love it. I get it. The powers that be, we're not going to see eye to eye on a lot of things. I'll say that's the most. But I got to see it. I got to see it. I got to see it.
Yeah, but again, if you want to throw a party and invite me over, have drinks.
We'll have clear ice. You come over and I'll make you a clear ice cocktail. We'll have a good time. That's it?
That's it?
That's our
The
draft.
Masters? How dare
If we
you.
miss anything, call us 877-710-ESPN. Or if you think that we missed something, tweet at us. Give us your worst, large gathering that you wouldn't want to be at.
Would you want to go to the Oscars?
Yeah.
Because that was the next one on my list.
I don't really even want to go so much for the celebrities and the pomp and circumstance. I've lived in LA long enough that I can see a lot of that. I would only be interested in going just because I think the Oscars are really interesting in the way that they mark Hollywood history and the way you often look back on what won at the Oscars or what was nominated, what got snubbed, to get an idea of sort of where movies were culturally at that time. So it might be interesting to see that up close.
Somebody might get slapped.
Somebody might get slapped. But for the most part, I think the ceremony itself is pretty boring.
All right, the Rams in the first round select nobody. It's coming up next. Travis DeMarco. Andy's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
Next Gen is the official AC, heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. That's right. Next Gen is the absolute best in the biz with thousands of five-star reviews to prove it. Clogged drain? No problem. Call Next Gen today to book your $88 drain cleaning. That's right. For just $88, you'll receive a professional drain cleaning to keep your home flowing smoothly all season long. Call 833-3-NEXT-GEN. That's 833-3-NEXGEN for your $88 drain cleaning.
NEXGEN, call 833-3-NEXT-GEN.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
Hey, it's Mace. Want a new game to get excited about? Check out Chumba Casino, your favorite online social casino. It's free to play, no strings attached. Enjoy social casino games like bingo, slingo, and slots and more with new releases every week, whether you're at home or on the go. Play for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Get started today at ChumbaCasino.com.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Delaware, Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Pizza City Fest returns to Los Angeles at LA Live on Saturday, April 26th and Sunday, April 27th. The festival offers a stellar lineup of Southern California's best pizza makers in one location, giving fans the unique opportunity to taste, see live demos, and attend panel discussions with culinary experts over 2 days at LA Live. Get more info and buy tickets now at lalive.com/Pizza City Fest LA. Once again, that's lalive.com/Pizza City Fest LA.
Physicality was not a problem in Game 2.
Here comes Minnesota. Look out. Here's Ant-Man. LeBron stole it. LeBron down the middle. LeBron all the way to the rim and in. Huge play by LeBron. 92-81 Lakers.
Now a tied series. It's time to take care of business for Game 3 in Minnesota.
Lakers, T-Wolves.
Coverage today at 5 p.m. with the Toyota Lakers Countdown on your home of Lakers basketball.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
You're from over there, I'm from over here. We're sitting in this hot tub together. What do you like to drink?
No.
See?
No.
No? Not at all? Come on.
No.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Jorge, who made those? What were those quesadillas you made last night?
I made them last night.
I'd
yeah.
never seen them fried like that before.
Oh my man, it's something else. You see the cheese pool?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so you basically take your masa, take your flour, corn flour,
Okay.
whatever. You add your water, a little bit of salt, and then you mix it until the consistency is not sticky, it's not too wet. You got to find that right consistency.
Yeah.
So then you flatten it out. You know, you make little balls, you flatten it out, and then you fill it with whatever you want. In my case, I did it with chorizo and papas, or potatoes and chorizo.
Yeah.
And then for
Tell
the
me
kids,
more.
and then for the kids, I made them with cheese. You know, queso Oaxaca. So then everything's just melts nice.
Mike's face when she was pulling that cheese apart, that was incredible.
Oh my man, it was delicious. And then you put a little lettuce in there, sour cream, queso fresco, and guacamole salsa, whatever, and you go at it. I ate 5 of them. Man.
How big was it? Like, give me an idea. Like, give me a comparison.
Let's see. Probably. I mean, I made them.
Is it as big as my fist or bigger?
Oh, bigger.
Bigger? As big as two fists?
Yeah, 2 fists is right. The size of a fist would be an empanada.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's 2 fists is the right.
I just realized, not to change the subject, but I just realized we all forgot a very obvious draft choice. Maybe you could argue the number one overall.
Go on.
Mall Black Friday.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's
bad.
just hell
doesn't really,
on
That's bad.
People
earth.
don't really do that as much anymore.
I think it still exists.
It's there.
It's there.
It's there.
I think we've drafted something similar vein of because when you were in before, it was like where you
Camping out.
least would it be on Christmas, and you did jail.
And strip joint.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I went dark.
No, you went orphanage.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Andy went orphanage, which was maybe the saddest thing ever said on the Trav and DeMarco show.
I had on my draft list for the one we did, one that went kind of dark, and then I said, you know what? I've already gone there. I've already brought down one draft. I don't want to bring down a second one. So no, I'm going to keep
You're going to save it? You're going to keep it to yourself?
I'll share off.
You'll share off air. Let's try a phone call here. Apparently we forgot another one. Whittier and Bella. Bella, you're on with Trav and Andy. What's up?
Hey, the worst thing to go to, which I'll never go to again, is the Freeway Series. Oh, my God. Everybody gets drunk. Half the people don't even make it inside. You know, the Dodgers-Angels game, going back and forth, who's the better team?
Okay, you've had a very different experience at the Freeway Series than I have. I have been, and I have. First of all, Dodger games. Did you go at Angel Stadium or at Dodger Stadium?
Both.
Both.
I think the Dodgers worse because of the parking.
Well, Dodger Stadium parking lot is a bad deal, just full stop. But I have not had the. Let me be careful how I say this. I have not noticed that the drunkenness is increased in these moments. It is the typical level of drunkenness at these events.
Have you tailgated?
Well, Dodger Stadium, they really don't even let you. They'll chase you out of there.
No, but you go down the street, there's a spot. Trust me. We're Mexican. We'll find it.
Trust Bella.
I was
Bella
just about
knows
to say
what's
that,
up.
Bella, I'm going to need an invitation to your next tailgate because you sound like you know
All right.
what you're doing.
Well, I'm not going to the Freeway Series, that's for sure.
All right, we'll find a game against the Marlins or something, and you can show me what's
Okay.
up.
Hey, is that tailgate
Bye.
going
Yeah,
on
thanks,
even if
dog.
you're not there? I guess.
We lost her. Yeah. We lost her.
I mean, we can use it.
Put it this way: if you are instigating Dodger fans, you're doing it wrong. I'm just saying that's not the group. It's like just
no.
Let us live. We're there to be Dodger fans.
Well, and also, I mean, I don't think it's been as bad of late, but there have been times where instigate Dodger fans at your own risk.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's gotten bad.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. All right, so last night, round 1 of the NFL draft, the Rams were sitting at 26. We'd speculated every possible way you could speculate. Are they going to double down on defense? Are they going to draft the quarterback of the future? Are they going to find a playmaking tight end? Are they going to move up in the to get a dynamic playmaker? Whatever it might have been. And the most obvious answer was the thing that they ended up doing, which is the players in this particular draft, in the 2025 draft, that were going to be available in the mid to late 20s are on a talent scale about the same players you're going to get in the second and third round. This was a draft that was not loaded with first-round talent. Sometimes of the 32 first-round picks, you have 45 guys that are first-round talents, which means you're getting great players in the second round. The opposite is true. Sometimes you get 12 or 15 guys that are first-round talents, which means you're paying a premium for guys early in the draft. And I think the Rams looked at this draft as the guy we're going to get at 26 is basically the same guy we're going to get at 46. And they made a trade with the Falcons, and they acquired more. And they get another first-round pick next year, which, by all accounts, is a better draft, a better quarterback draft, potentially. I love what they did. It's kind of boring and uninspiring, but it's also really, really smart.
Well, here's the thing. It might be boring if you want something right now.
Yeah.
I think if you're a Rams fan who wants to feel good about the perpetual state of the organization, it actually is inspiring.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing a front office that's recognizing all the possibilities. They are hopefully identifying talent well and recognizing that the discrepancy between who they would get at 26 or if they trade up to, say, 20 versus who they will get this year, 45?
46.
46. Who they're going to get at 46. The gap is not so big.
No.
And it's certainly not as big as who they will draft in the first round next year.
Right.
And hopefully that is with an Atlanta pick from a Falcons team that struggled this year.
The Falcons pick for next year and where it falls is a huge part of how successful this may be.
Right.
But look, if the Falcons have a disastrous year and they're picking in the top 5 or 10, then the Rams hit a grand slam. If the Falcons have a good year and win their division and win a playoff game, maybe, then you're picking somewhere in the 20s, where probably is where the Rams are going to land. It's a little bit less successful.
But, well, it's less successful unless you think next year the players at 20 are going to be better than the players this year at 20. You still come out ahead. Unfortunately, I mean, I know Rams fans are going to be rooting against the Falcons all season.
Sure.
Unfortunately, the NFC South sucks.
It does.
So the Falcons could end up winning that division simply because somebody has to. I mean, they were 8-9 last year. They were second in the
division.
Missed
by one game.
Yeah.
They missed by one game. There's also a whole bunch of other things they can do with that pick. I want to get into that next because they may never end up actually picking anybody at all. That's coming up. It is also a Cosm Ticket Friday. You're going to want to experience it. Everybody I know that's gone to Cosm absolutely loves it. So experience the thrill of the playoffs like never before at Cosm. 877-710-ESPN. Give us a call right now, and caller number 7 will win the ultimate Cosm playoff prize pack, which includes 1 pair of tickets to watch the Lakers Game 4, 12:30 on Sunday, and 1 pair of tickets to watch the Kings Game 4 at 6:30 on Sunday, April 27th at Cosm LA. Limited tickets available through Cosm.com or the Cosm mobile app. Call for your chance to win. Caller number 7 wins right now, only from 710 ESPN. What do they use that pick for next year? They might even use it this year. That's coming up. It's Trav, it's Andy, 710 ESPN.
It's the night that an All-American becomes a top pick in the National Football League.
The 2025 NFL Draft is now officially open.
Today is rounds 2 and 3 live from Green Bay, and we'll bring them to you. Join Cappy, Marcus Grant, myself, Chris Morales, producer Lindsay Baseball, and more, broadcasting live from the Rams Draft House in Van Nuys. That's right, the official Rams Draft headquarters. We're going to be there, bringing you all the moments of rounds 2 and 3. And when we go to Lakers coverage on 710, we'll continue our coverage live on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles. And don't forget, Saturday, we've got the NFL Draft all day long, courtesy of ESPN Radio. We are your home of the Los Angeles Rams and the NFL Draft. 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood carpet and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
Cap here. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt. With years of experience and a passion for helping people, if you've got water damage at home, call Avner Gatt today. 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. That's 818-917-5256. Avner Gatt. Your claim, our game.
Ready for a delicious escape? The New Islands Restaurant's $10 protein bowls are your ticket. Packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients. They're only here for a limited time, so enjoy one today. Visit islandsrestaurants.com.
Hey, it's Travis. Every legend has a story, and those stories are kept at Legends Attic in Claremont. Legends Attic is the premier sports memorabilia gallery and store that offers a unique blend of rare and iconic collectibles. It's a community for sports fans and collectors, so go check it out for yourself. Legends Attic, 619 West Foothill Boulevard in the city of Claremont. Visit legendsattic.com and be sure to follow Legends Attic on all social media platforms so you can stay connected to know about their upcoming signings and special events with Hall of Famers and pro players.
Hey, LA, let's talk trash. Food waste, that is. Tossing your food scraps in the regular trash sends them to landfills where they release harmful gases like methane. Fight global warming by simply sorting your food scraps and placing them in your green bin. It's quick, it's easy, it helps protect our planet. Ready to do your part? Visit cleanla.com or call 888-CLEAN-LA for more tips. This message funded by Cal Recycle.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Winning matters, especially after an accident. At calljacob.com, we're here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right, pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN. Your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
That's where the Candyman went.
That is where the Candyman went. I was in the Big West as a student when Michael Olowokandi was doing work at the University of Pacific, and when the draft happened later that year and the Clippers with the number 1 pick took Michael Olowokandi, my reaction was, there's 2 guys named Michael Olowokandi? Because there's no way they're taking the guy that I saw.
That shocked a lot of people.
Yeah, that's an unusual name. Like, that's really wow. Oh, there's 2 of those. Okay, 2 Olowokandis, both named Michael. Huh. Wait, what? And
stunned a lot
there
of folks.
There they are. What's on tap today on 710? Sedano and Cap live again from LAFD Air Operations in Van Nuys, leading up to Lakers pregame at 5 o'clock. Game 3 in Minnesota. It tips off at 6:30. Also, the Kings are on the road in Edmonton. Coverage begins also at 6:30, and you can listen to all of it on the ESPN LA app. Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor, only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Michelob Ultra, it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Please enjoy responsibly. So the Rams trade back. They move out of the first round. They get Atlanta's first-round pick next year. Atlanta may be good, which would kind of devalue that pick a little bit, or the Atlanta could be really bad, which would make the pick even more valuable depending on exactly where it lands. There's also this. It gives them assets to do a lot more things that may not be anything to do with drafting a player out of college. Think of what the Rams did when they won the Super Bowl 56. When they got to the deadline, they felt that they needed to make their defense a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more comprehensive. They went out and got the best player available at the deadline. They got Von Miller. Von Miller helped the Rams win the Super Bowl. The price for Von Miller at the time was a second-round draft pick. Well, they got a first-round draft pick to play with, and it may be a guy that's in college, but it may be the 2025 version of Von Miller that comes in that puts you over the top, and you can do it, and you still have your own first-round pick.
They gave themselves what they decided were better options than drafting with that pick now. Because let's just say Atlanta ends up good this season. Like, that would be unfortunate for the Rams if they ultimately end up using that pick on a player. Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate if they don't get to draft as high. But if they are confident that 26 this year is not going to be as good as 26 next year, then they already come out ahead, assuming they're right. Assuming they're correct about this, then they already come out ahead because they've got better options with drafting with that pick, regardless of where they end up drafting.
They clearly, if you were reading a lot of Rams draft stuff like I was, if you're talking a lot about the Rams draft like I was, it seemed like a lot of it was centered on whether or not the Rams were going to draft a quarterback in the future. That whether or not you decide that, hey, Jackson Dart could be the guy that's the next guy. Shedeur Sanders might fall to you at that point. Do you want to go there? Do you want to take a little bit of a different type of quarterback and take somebody like Jalen Milroe and find a way to do that? And that's not to say they can't take Dart anymore, but those other guys are still at least theoretically available. They did not like any of those guys at that spot because everybody, Dart, Sanders, Milroe, etc., all available at that. That was all. We're going to ride Matthew Stafford until we don't.
That's why, to me, unless they thought like Dart or Sanders or whoever is so good that you simply have to put him in our building and we will worry about the later. To me, with Matthew Stafford as part of an open-ended plan for them, like they know they are closer to the end than the beginning, but kind of like the Lakers with LeBron. They don't know when the end is going to be. To me, you can't use a first-round pick, at least this year, on a quarterback because let's say Stafford plays just another 2 years.
Yeah.
Then whoever that quarterback is, Shedeur Sanders, you're not getting a real look at him until year 3 of his contract. You're already at a place now where you're starting to wonder whether or not you extend him. You could be extending him based off no information at all.
Yeah.
Let's just say you draft a quarterback next year with the first round. Like, that still could be a little bit dicey, but at least Stafford is 1 year further along. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think you could do that with a quarterback with the Rams this year unless it's just somebody that is so otherworldly, in which case you have to wonder, why are they available at 26?
That's it. If it's one of these, we thought this guy would be the third pick in the draft and he's still here, grab him. That's not what this was.
Right. If Cam Ward was available at 26,
right,
they likely take Cam Ward.
Exactly right. And so much of this, I think, is what you said, depending on how good is Matthew Stafford. That he's still on the short list of guys that I'm good. I don't need to look around. Would you rather have Patrick Mahomes? Sure. Would you rather have Josh Allen? Sure. But there are 32 of these guys, and 26 of them are like, man, I'm good. I'll stick with my guy. That's a really rare position to be in the NFL. Most people are looking to upgrade that spot. They're not. Their only reason to look to upgrade is that it's age. He could go out there and have another really good year, and we're right back here all over.
I was going to say, and it's also very clear. Like, no matter how you feel about this, the Rams are really comfortable with Stafford.
Yes.
Like, they are in no hurry to turn to the next chapter.
Doesn't seem like it.
Like, they don't. They do not seem in any hurry at all, meaning as long as Stafford is still a good player and as long as he still wants to be here, he's going to be here.
And he's given no indication that he doesn't want to keep playing.
No.
And there aren't opportunities to go elsewhere that are better than this.
Right. So again, getting back to why, to me, it would have been insane to use a first-round pick on a quarterback this year. If he's around another 2 to 3 years, you're in a situation very much like what the Packers just dealt with Jordan Love, where you have to roll the dice on an extension. It's looking, to be fair, like that's a good decision with the Packers and Jordan Love, but it's really risky.
Could have gone bad.
It's really risky with the amount of money that it takes now to commit to a quarterback long term if you haven't seen him.
Oh, you're speculating and you're hoping that you got it right, but you could just as easily have a guy that you could have. I'm trying to think. You could have Trey Lance.
Yes.
You could have a guy that's like, this just didn't work out.
You could have, and this isn't the best example because Jacksonville's seen a lot of them, but you could have a situation like with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Where he's fine.
You're no man's land.
He's too good to give up on, but not good enough that you feel confident, and you already invested so much capital in him anyway, and opportunity cost.
He's so expensive that I have no choice but to keep him, and he's not good enough. I know we're stuck. He's just simply not good enough.
But even if he's not good enough, he is still better than 90% of the options out there. Maybe even 95%.
Yeah.
Like it is.
Well, yes and no. I mean, he's exactly where you can't be. Him, Tua, these guys, it's like, are they better than average? Yes. Are they good enough? Not even close.
No, but I think what makes this so complicated is it's hard to find better than average.
It is.
Like, Brock Purdy, the question going on with the Niners and what to do with him in the future.
Yep.
Like, is he a franchise quarterback? I don't know, but he is legitimately better than like 85, 90% of the quarterbacks out there.
I felt like this for a while with the Rams, and I'm curious if you agree with this or not. When they make a decision like they made yesterday, that is a strategic decision, that is something about asset collection much more than player identification, I automatically give them the benefit of the doubt. I feel they've earned it. I feel that through the drafts that they've done, the way that they, not just the players that they've selected, but the way that they've managed their drafts, whether it's making the trade for Von Miller or 2 first-round picks for Jalen Ramsey or first-round picks to go get Matthew Stafford, like the way that they manage their roster and manage their draft, that if they're going to do something, they've entered that thing, much like the Dodgers. When the Dodgers say, you know what, we'll take that guy, look out. They probably know something that you don't. The Rams have, and there are other teams that, yeah, man, I don't know. That guy does not have a track record of making great decisions. The Rams have a track record of making very, very good decisions.
They're not perfect, and no
Nobody
team is.
Right.
I think, though, the Rams are pretty good at identifying, if nothing else, what do we need?
Yeah.
Like, I think they're pretty good at zeroing in what is the thing that we need. You identify that first, then you start thinking about who is the person.
Mm-hmm.
But particularly with drafts, man, they've been very...
Especially late in the draft.
Very good late in the draft. They've been good middle in the draft. Like, again, they've had mistakes. Everybody has mistakes.
Yep.
But in the aggregate, they're pretty good at it.
The other thing they're really good at is they know when it's time to hammer the gas. Like, hey, we got a shot. Doesn't guarantee that you're going to get there, but we're close. Let's go for it. And they're also, you know what? Not now. Sit tight. Let's just wait and see what happens next. But when they can kind of sniff it out, like we got a chance to go, and I think they're in that mode right now of we're pretty close. Let's go for it. And I think that pick that they picked up yesterday could just as easily be out the door come the trade deadline as it is that they're picking a guy.
But
in the
then in the meantime, though, today, like if they are correct that the difference between 26 and 46 pretty negligible, especially with, and we don't know yet, what are they identifying as the needs? Who are they targeting? If especially they feel like the guy that we want is going to be just as good as anybody at 26, and we're pretty confident he's going to be around, and if he's not around, the guy that we think is basically that guy also going to be around, then they're giving themselves basically the same chance this year while improving their options either for middle of the season or next year.
Dodgers are on that list. The Rams are on that list. Are the Lakers?
Well, Rob Pelinka just got an extension. Jeannie Buss seems to think so.
Jeannie Buss thinks so.
Well, I will say this about Rob Pelinka, and other than the Mark Williams thing, which I think is for the time being TBD.
Sure.
Because depending on what happens this summer,
Yep.
it may not matter. Mark Williams, I think it's become pretty clear, would have been useful during these playoffs, but they were in a position where they were thinking about, we have to commit long-term to him. Because everything that we gave up for him, and especially, too, because remember when this trade happened, they didn't know yet how quickly can this gel around Luka? Like, how quickly
Pretty
can
fast,
Luka,
as it turns out.
But you don't know that at the time. And clearly something in Mark Williams's medical scared the living bleep out of him. I mean, because
it never happens.
Well, they knew that he's injury prone.
Right.
And they still were frightened by what they saw. That being all that said, and I've been critical a lot of Rob Pelinka over the years because I don't think he's been detail-oriented enough. I think he's been, like often in this organization, too fixated on superstars and nothing else matters. I think this has been a really good year for Rob Pelinka.
This has been a good year.
Like, going back to hiring J.J. Redick, the process was messy as hell, very...
See, this is where I think it gets interesting. They got J.J. Redick kind of on accident. They identified him, but then they very aggressively tried to get Dan Hurley. And the only reason Dan Hurley's not here is because Dan Hurley chose not to be.
Again, it was messy in going from J.J. to Hurley back to J.J. It was messy in the sense of the biggest reason they didn't get Dan Hurley is they didn't pony up enough money.
Yeah.
But they landed on J.J. I think J.J. was a good choice.
Yep.
They drafted Dalton Connect. I know Dalton fell to them, but at the same time, they didn't overthink it.
Right.
And other than maybe Yves Missi in New Orleans, there's nobody right around that area where you think that guy would have been better.
Nope.
The DFS trade, good.
Yep.
Finding a guy like Jordan Goodwin as a two-way player who ended up, at least for a lot of the year, in the rotation. Even guys like Koloko and Jemison who had to hold down the fort when AD or Hayes or both were hurt. This has been a good year for Rob Pelinka. It just has.
He's better in the middle and the back than I think at the top line. The top line stuff has been a mixed bag, but the middle and the bottom half has been much better.
But you know what, though? In a lot of ways, that's encouraging to me because I had been more concerned about Rob Pelinka with the middle and the back.
Yeah.
A lot of the front end stuff, that's the most like self-evident.
It does itself a lot of times.
Right. If you can get Luka Doncic,
when
get him.
Someone says, "Would you like Luka?" You say, "Yes, please."
Yeah.
Well, I'll be right over.
Right.
I'll pick him up.
And you shut your mouth because then you don't want to get it out, and then it's being shopped.
Now this is actually, I'm sure you guys have talked about this before. I know I've talked about it. I think the Lakers front office is too small. Like there's literally not enough people to do all of the work that's required, and it can be too insulated. But if you are looking for a scenario where the number one thing is nobody talk, everyone shut their mouth, no leaks, it's actually helpful when the front office is basically like one guy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, who's Rob Pelinka going to tell?
Well, that's the thing. If one person, it's a secret.
Right.
If more than one person knows, it's not a secret.
I mean, really, other than like Kurt Rambis, Linda Rambis, Tim Harris, like there's really nobody to tell other than Jeannie. This is one of those cases where it actually worked out pretty well.
Factor Cap's coming up next. It's Trav and DeMarco, and he's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN. Had a great time out at Legends Attic yesterday, and in large part because I got to see my pals from Rotolo Chevrolet. Got to see Mike Capozio. Got to see Eddie Alizada. It's just something that I'm so happy to see those guys, and I'm so happy to tell you about Rotolo Chevrolet, because I know if you're in the market for that Chevy car truck, you've been thinking about Silverado, and you go to Rotolo, that those guys are going to take incredible care of you, because that's what they do every day, every month, every year, to the tune of 13 years in a row. They've won Dealer of the Year. That is not easy to do, and that's exactly what they've done. And they do it by treating you with respect, by being courteous, by making sure that you know every single part of the sales process, that when it's all said and done and you have that new Silverado, you're going to feel great about it. You're going to feel fantastic about every single part, from the sales process, the financing, all of it. You're going to love it at Rotolo Chevrolet. So if you've been thinking about looking at a Chevy, get on the 210 freeway, take that Sierra Avenue exit and drive right on into Rotolo Chevrolet and go see for yourself what all that fun's about. If you are not, in the IE, you're not in the 909, maybe you're in the South Bay, maybe you're in Long Beach, you're on the West Side, you're in the Valley, RotoloChevy.com, ROTOLO. So whether you go in or go online at RotoloChevy.com, make sure that they know that Travis sent you in.
Visit Calendar.
No surprise price hikes with AutoPay and any Verizon mobile phone plan. Visit your local Verizon store. Learn more at verizon.com/5G home or call 800-VERIZON.
Lakers fans, here's your chance to experience Lakers basketball live during the playoffs. You still have time to secure your seat with Lakers Ticket Exchange, the official resale marketplace of your Los Angeles Lakers. Your ticket purchase is 100% verified and secured with Lakers Ticket Exchange. Go to Lakers.com/ticket exchange on your computer or mobile device to find your seats and you are set. That's Lakers.com/ticket exchange. And go purple and gold.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right, pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply, NMLS 696891.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Here we go. It is Factor Cap time for Factor Cap on the Travis and DeMarco Show. Each weekday around 10:30, producer Emily serves up what's going down, and fun and frivolity ensues. Special thanks to the law offices of Joseph S. Normand for making Factor Cap possible.
It's Joseph S. Normand. It's Factor Cap on the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN. And if you've been hurt in an accident, let me help you. Call my office at 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let's do it. Factor Cap right now.
Take it away, producer Emily.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Thanks, Joe. Hi, guys.
Buenos dias.
Ahoy, hoy.
Okay. So Jorge sent us a video yesterday of Devin Booker going around and
I saw that.
Going to these kids' lemonade stands and just being an awesome guy. It's a really cool thing to see an athlete do that.
Is he dropping some coin?
Jorge?
Based on the kids' reaction.
Yeah,
Yes.
he dropped a couple. I saw a couple bills.
Yeah.
Maybe
Good for
300,
him, man.
200.
That's
Again,
so
no, it means
It's great,
that
too,
amount is
because
nothing
about
to him.
halfway through, one of the kids is like, oh, wait a minute, that's Devin Booker. Like, it took him a second to figure it out. It's really fun.
I've also seen TikToks of like these people. This one woman will go around and like crowdfund and then give it to this kid. This kid might have a sign like, I need to raise this money to go with my team to Europe to play soccer, and then gifts this kid with everything on this crowdfunding site. But Travis, I don't know if like lemonade stands were around in the Great Depression, but like my statement is
We used real lemons.
you
They were too valuable. You couldn't just give lemons away.
Man,
Of course.
that was your dinner back during the Depression.
You did a lemonade stand as a kid.
Absolute
Travis,
fact. 100% fact. My brother and I have an aunt, Cameron, who's like a year and a half older than I am. It's my mom's youngest sister. She's just a little bit older than I am. We used to do a lemonade stand all the time. Yeah, and I don't think we ever made more than a couple of bucks. And you would sell it
Devin
to like
Booker never pulled up.
Devin Booker was never the guy that came through and hooked us up. But yeah, and it was always you had these grand dreams of somebody was gonna. Maybe you weren't thinking like famous athlete, but somebody's gonna come by, and it's like no, everybody just kind of keeps it moving. But yeah, for sure.
Andy?
I think I did. I have no memories of doing it, but it's such a common thing for kids to do that I'm just assuming that I did at some point. I do remember, though, when my daughter was like 6 or 7, her and her friend Lila set up a lemonade stand in front of our place. And by them setting up a lemonade stand, I mean I set up.
Right.
I did all the work for that thing and retained none of the profits.
I was going to say, do you stop at lemonade stands now? Have you seen one recently?
Yes, there are kids in my neighborhood that will occasionally have a lemonade stand, and if I have money on me, I will spend money. Yes.
All right.
Not Devin Booker money.
Jorge?
Hell yeah, but we had a menu. So we had Kool-Aid, we had Tang, we had lemonade, we had that country time lemonade.
Oh, yeah.
The scoop?
The scoop with like a whole pitcher. Yeah, that's what we had.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Country time lemonade is just yellow sugar water.
Or pink.
And it's awesome.
The pink was my favorite.
We would always make the pink concentrate, the Minute Maid that you'd mix with the water, the same stuff you put in the Skip and Go Nakeds. Pretty good.
It's somehow 110% sugar.
Yeah, it's so good.
Kool-Aid is just powder. There's no sugar to it.
Kool-Aid's the best. I can't remember the last time I had it, but gosh, I remember loving it.
I don't think I ever did it, but I do remember for one fundraiser for my soccer team was we got to open an Applebee's. Like we went to an Applebee's, opened it for breakfast, and we were the servers. So it was like a fundraiser, and all the money went to our soccer team, but we would serve our family and friends that went to this Applebee's and
cool.
got to know a little bit behind the scenes. We didn't do the cooking, but we just
that's fun.
Got what they wanted. Okay, so Jorge, do you have this video ready? So there is a cardinal, Cardinal Toggle, who is Filipino, and he has potential to be the next pope. Who knows? They're voting, their conclave today.
You can bet on this, by the way.
You can bet on this. It won't be my Pachaga pick of the week. But this is Cardinal Toggle singing at an event.
You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
All right, so that's Cardinal Tackle. And while his ability to sing may vary, you think that you would want a Pope, in theory, that is an incredible singer. You want a Pope that will go out there and belt it out with like Olivia Rodrigo and Taylor Swift. You want that
You
kind
want to
of
go
Pope.
catch the Pope at Coachella? Is
Yeah,
that right?
exactly. Andy
I mean, look, as a Jew, I was not necessarily steeped in Pope culture. Like, how much does the Pope normally sing?
So at Mass, there is singing, but typically it's all monotone, and it's like,
it's like more chanting.
It's more an incantation.
I mean, it sounds to me like
he might fit that vibe.
Well, he might fit the monotone.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ought to be stretching.
Got to pick the right song,
Do
much
we
like
wanna-
American Idol.
Do we want a Pope star?
Stop it. That's so good. That's so good. Good job, Em.
Travis?
I don't mean this in any sort of blasphemous way. I'm not trying to offend the Catholics that are out there. Isn't the Pope just like the CEO?
It's kind of more like the Queen of England.
The singing.
Okay.
Or King of
Yeah,
England.
that's what I
Where
mean,
they
like-
do have some sort of like reverence. You do kind of, you
gotta host mass here and there.
And also, if you believe it,
you gotta deliver the address to the shareholders.
Right.
But like, I don't know what level of performance I need
what if
from
the
my
divine
CEO.
person on earth, as the people who are Catholic might believe a Pope is an amazing singer?
That would be a nice added benefit, but I don't think it's I need him to run the church the way.
I mean,
that
if
the
your
church
Pope
needs
is
to
a
be
little
run.
too obsessed with singing, I mean, like, isn't that a problem? Like,
Here's-
if your Pope is hoping to use the papacy to launch his music career,
There isn't-
He's got to keep the main thing the main thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you don't count on a Pope to have a side gig.
There's
like
a
a side
Spotify
hustle.
playlist that is Catholic hymnal bangers, and my family every Sunday will
This
text.
has been your segment.
Yeah.
Ellie.
I'm
You've
sorry.
been really.
My family texts in the group chat every Sunday if they got a quote unquote hymnal banger. So this is how Catholic my family is.
There you go.
Anyway, do you want a Pope star?
I didn't know that you had a. I didn't know you had to audition for American Idol to become
You are
a
deep
Pope.
in your bag.
No, this guy got the wrong idea of how this worked and how you get chosen.
Like, does the hat fit? Can you run the company?
I don't think this is not his audition. He
Yeah.
was just
I
singing at
know, I
an
know,
event for his Filipino brethren.
Shouts out to you.
Sorry, please.
One last one for you guys. Adam Schefter was kind of being dragged through the mud yesterday for his outfit choice yesterday. So he had
I saw him last night. I
a
didn't-
suit jacket.
Yeah.
He had the thin little hoodie, which people have been doing a lot. And then he also had a dress shirt and a tie underneath the thin hoodie. And so the awkwardness comes from the thin hoodie with the tie peeking out, and everyone's like, too many layers, bro. Looks terrible. I agree. Fashion faux pas. You can only have these 2 layers. It looks really bad. So Adam Schefter should never wear this again. Jorge Fatricap.
I agree. There's too many layers. Like, you don't do the student tie or the tie and the shirt and then that hoodie like yours. You don't do that. And
He's
then you
trying
top the
too hard to
blazer.
be cool.
Yeah.
He's trying too hard to
Which
be.
part of it is the part trying to be cool? The
The
tie
and
or
the
the
shirt.
sweatshirt?
It's the sweatshirt.
Okay.
It's this thin sweatshirt. He's trying to be Andrew Whitworth. He's trying to be everyone from the Rams. He's trying to be these like hip people wearing the suit coat over the thin sweatshirt. But the added tie makes you look like a square.
Oh.
Travis.
Cap. I saw Adam, like, when you started this, I'm like, I didn't notice that it was square. I didn't notice that it was particularly hip or contemporary, or it just, he looked like he was wearing a suit. It never, ever
With a
dawned on
sweatshirt
me.
underneath it.
Yeah,
With also then a tie and a suit coat.
But people wear
I
three
did not notice
People
at
wear
all.
3/4 zips under blazers all the time with collared shirts. I'm looking at this picture right now.
I thought he looked fine.
The hoodie makes it worse.
I don't agree because
What
that's
if the
become
Pope wore a
thing.
hoodie?
The Pope would never wear a
What
hoodie.
if
let
Adam
me mind you
Schefter
that.
sang?
If Adam Schefter sang, I think I'd like that better.
I'm looking at this picture right now. I don't actually think it's that big of a deal. I think this is one of those viral things that everyone started talking about, and you got big groupthink deciding that Adam
no,
Schefter
as soon as
looked
I
bad.
saw it, I was like, that looks bad.
Yeah,
But maybe I'm still groupthink.
Well, I don't mean you specifically. I just mean the reaction to it.
He looked fine. He looked fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looked fine.
I don't think he looked like he was trying too hard.
No.
Oh, he did. He 100% looked like he was trying too hard, trying to be cool.
Do what? Like
Trying
he's
to-
Adam Schefter's a 50-year-old guy. What's he
I've
trying
never
to get
seen
done?
Adam Schefter attempt to look cool.
Yeah, I
in
was
his
going to
life.
say, like, I think you're putting something in there that isn't in there.
He was attempting a fashion choice, which was a sweatshirt underneath the suit, which a lot of people who are cool now on the studios are doing. Fitzpatrick, Andrew Whitworth.
No, there's no world where Ryan Fitzpatrick is cool. Stop it.
Yeah,
He's not.
He's cool to young people.
Andy, this is why we don't get it.
No, I mean, I'm looking, honestly, man, I'm going to go in the opposite direction. I actually think this looks good on Schefter.
It looks
He's
okay.
fine. He's fine. He went home and he hung it back up in his closet. He's like, I'm going to wear that again one of these days. That's
I
good.
really hope not.
Yeah, no.
No, I imagine someone dressed Schefter. Like, he probably had someone from ESPN pick that out for him. He gave that back. I don't even know if he owns all of it.
Rental clothes for the draft?
Maybe.
Like
Well,
a tuxedo
people do
going
have
to the prom?
stylists, but I don't know if ESPN
You don't get to
necessarily-
keep it?
No, not typically if you have a stylist. They
baloney.
usually pick it up for you, but
No,
I guarantee you a stylist did not put him in that outfit.
I want to get to the bottom of this. I bet there could
Let's
be a
call him right now.
stylist involved.
I know this. I don't care. That Adam Schefter could wear shorts and a tank top. I'm there for that. He could wear that. He could wear a tuxedo and anything in between these things. And I'm not sure I would notice.
I had 3 Factor casts where no one gave a crap about.
No. I don't mean like that as a tough. I just say like Adam Schefter is a 50-year-old NFL reporter. What clothes he has on
just got
could not be.
Just got a text from Momo. Adam looked good. It's freezing cold out there. Leave him alone.
Wear
It is
a
cold
coat
out.
over the coat. It looked bad. And Lindsay just texted me and said that Schefter looked ridiculous.
Nope, 3-2. Andy, me, and Momo beat you and Lindsay 3-2.
And we're not asking Jorge in case he's on their side.
Don't tie it up. Are you going to tie it up?
I just don't get the suit, the tie under. I just don't get the
Momo, there are other
gotta wear a
options
tie.
than what he wore to keep yourself warm. He could have put it on a scarf and it would have been better.
Factor Cap is brought to you by Joseph S. Normand. You have many choices in your legal team, but family always comes first with Joe. Call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000. You can visit normandlegal.com. If you get hurt in an accident, call Joe, 213-747-2000.
Okay, Bob on Twitter just hit at
I
Culver
don't care
fan.
about Bob.
No, this Emily.
Maybe he doesn't care
I
about
saw
you.
your tweet.
Vatican Idol. Just his pitch. Emily,
awesome.
This is your ticket.
Okay.
The producer of Vatican Idol.
I'm in. I'll watch.
With Travis Rogers saying it's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, I'm just going to have him put on the hat. If the hat looks good, we'll advance him to Hollywood or the Vatican in this situation. A team had a very good night at the draft last night. I don't know the last time we said that about this team. That's coming up. It's Trav and DeMarco, and he's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
The Kings clobbered the Oilers in Game 2 of this first-round best-of-7 series, scoring 3 power play goals en route to a 6-2 win.
And listen to the Crypto.com arena crowd. The Kings win Game 2, a final score of 6-2 here in downtown L.A.
Now the series shifts to Edmonton, Alberta, as the Kings search for a commanding 3-0 lead. Listen live at 7 p.m. on the all-new ESPN LA app.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. And our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Our steamed vegetables and signature salads are made fresh for you. Our sauces are more flavorful for you, from sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, Joe Q. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
It's the night that an All-American becomes a top pick in the National Football League.
The 2025 NFL Draft is now officially open.
Today is rounds 2 and 3 live from Green Bay, and we'll bring them to you. Join Cappy, Marcus Grimm, myself, Chris Morales, producer Lindsay Baseball, and more, broadcasting live from the Rams Draft House in Van Nuys. That's right, the official Rams Draft headquarters. We're going to be there, bringing you all the moments of rounds 2 and 3. And when we go to Lakers coverage on 710, we'll continue our coverage live on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles. And don't forget, Saturday, we've got the NFL Draft all day long, courtesy of ESPN Radio. We are your home of the Los Angeles Rams and the NFL Draft. 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
It's the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
You want to make friends? You buy a round for the bar.
Yeah.
Luca did that with parking.
I thought
that was fantastic.
Terrific.
Yes.
The Travis and DeMarco Show rolls on.
On LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Worldwide. Like the Pope. I want the Pope to sing with Pitbull. That would be amazing.
You
That'd
are
be
a
my
Pitbull
ideal.
fan.
Yeah, I'm a Pitbull fan, and I'm honestly a Catholic news fan in the way that it's not harmful, if that makes any sense.
It's interesting.
Yeah, the Pope is interesting to me. The way they choose the Pope, the conclave, is interesting to me. But it's Friday. It's 10:45-ish. And it's time for our Pachanga Pick of the Week. I did not hit last week because I believed in Austin Reeves a lot more than he believed in himself. But this week, it's going to be Lakers-related yet again. I'm going to do Luka Doncic, combined points, rebounds, and assists at 50+.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That is spicy.
But we're expecting this Luka game. And especially if he's going to Minnesota, a place he played last year, and a great,
True.
Great games for Luka.
Yep.
I think he's going to be turned on by the crowd getting after him. So I have 50+ points combined, points, rebounds, and assists. And that's my Pachanga Pick of the Week. Play your perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino. Visit pachanga.com for more information.
You said it when we were chatting this morning, Andy, that Luka has had a couple of games that were very good games. But we were like, hey, when's he going to have that game? And he's one of those guys. Like, good is like, yeah, what's up with you, dude? And very good is like, yeah, that's fine, but when are you going to do the thing that we're all here to see? And with Luka, it would literally be like what that number that M just spit out, where you do 35, 10, and 6. And he's got it in him. We've seen him do it before.
Which, by the way, it's so funny. This just lets you know how much we expect from Luka. You just said 35, 10, and 6.
Did he do that?
He's averaging 34, 10, and 5.
There you go.
In this series.
He's a rebound short or an assist short.
But I'm just saying, you basically just named his averages in this series.
We've seen him do it before, where it's in the moment. He's
50%
going to
from
make
the field,
shot.
39% from behind the arc.
He's a terrific player.
Yeah.
And every time he has it, he's going to make one. And he's going to back up a little further and a little further. And then he's going to go to the basket and he's going to find a guy. And it's just, he has the entire opposing team on a string.
His splits, 2 games, but his splits are 50, 39, 95.
That's crazy.
Yes. And you're like,
wins the game.
Bored.
Yeah, get hot, dude.
Dazzle me, dude.
Get hot.
I know.
Part of it is that they lost game 1.
Yeah.
And part of it, game 2, was a rock fight.
Well, it's also they need it.
Yeah.
Like they need him to go even more nuclear than 34, 10, and 5 because that's a third of the offense.
I've been saying it too. It seems less flashy because it's early in the game. Typically, he has a lot of these big outbursts.
He hasn't had the daggers.
The first quarter. Yeah, it's not really happening in the fourth quarter necessarily.
LeBron's been kind of their go-to guy in the fourth quarter, and I know I'm a broken record on this. I still think the most unstoppable thing in basketball, and this has been true for 20 years now, LeBron James with a head of steam going to the basket. Good luck. Something good's going to happen. He's going to make it. He's going to make it and get fouled. He's going to get fouled, or he's going to find somebody that is wide open for a shot.
It has been a pretty unsolvable problem for, what is it now, 22 seasons?
Yeah, he's so strong and so fast, and he makes such good decisions. And it's just, which of these 4 positive outcomes is it going to be? It's very rarely where he gets stuffed or just misses and nothing happens.
He doesn't pick up a lot of charges.
No.
It's pretty tough to stop.
It is something else. All right. Let's talk about the Raiders coming up here next. The Raiders took Ashton Genty, who Kirk yesterday compared him to Saquon. If they've got something even close to that, they might be on to something for the first time in a long time. It's coming up next. It's Trav and Andy, 710 ESPN.
Physicality was not a problem in Game 2.
Here comes Minnesota. Look out. Here's Ant-Man. LeBron stole it. LeBron down the middle. LeBron all the way to the rim and in. Huge play by LeBron. 92-81 Lakers.
Now a tied series. It's time to take care of business for Game 3 in Minnesota.
Lakers, T-Wolves.
Coverage today at 5 p.m. with the Toyota Lakers Countdown on your home of Lakers basketball.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
At Children's Hospital Los Angeles, we're a nationally recognized leader in pediatric care, honored by U.S. News and World Report as one of the best in the country. Here, we achieve amazing breakthroughs that change lives. From groundbreaking cancer therapies that offer new hope to young patients, to advanced heart procedures that save lives, we partner with families to conquer challenges and achieve extraordinary outcomes. Choose the best care for your child at chla.org.
Pizza City Fest returns to Los Angeles at LA Live on Saturday, April 26th and Sunday, April 27th. The festival offers a stellar lineup of Southern California's best pizza makers in one location, giving fans the unique opportunity to taste, see live demos, and attend panel discussions with culinary experts over 2 days at LA Live. Get more info and buy tickets now at lalive.com/Pizza City Fest LA. Once again, that's lalive.com/Pizza City Fest LA.
All right, listen up. Whether you're out for a walk, hitting the gym, or just tackling your day, in this LA heat, chafing is no joke. Take my word for it. That's why you need Highlands Chafing Relief. This stuff is a game changer. Goes on like a cream, dries like a powder, and stays put even through sweat and water. No greasy mess, just all-day protection. If you've already got some chafing, Highlands soothes it fast with aloe, shea butter, and tea tree oil. Don't let chafing slow you down. Grab Highlands Chafing Relief at Walmart or Target right now.
Just as every point matters, every detail counts in our meticulously crafted vehicles. Experience luxury at the top of its game. Welcome to Cadillac of Beverly Hills, the #1 Cadillac dealer in the Western region for the 3rd year in a row. Come and check out the incredible selection of new and pre-owned vehicles today at our showroom, 8767 Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills, and at CadillacBeverlyHills.com.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
I got the keys.
What's on tap today? Let me tell you. Sedano and Cap are live from LAFD Air Operations in Van Nuys. That leads up to the Laker pregame show at 5 o'clock. Game 3, Minnesota tonight, tips at 6:30. Also the Kings, Game 3 in Edmonton. Coverage begins also at 6:30, and you can listen to all of that on the ESPN LA app. Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor, only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Michelob Ultra, it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Please enjoy responsibly. Here's something we had not said for a very long time that I think we've said kind of frequently over the last 6 months, maybe even a little bit longer than that. The Raiders made a good decision. The Raiders have made a series of decisions. You go, okay, that's probably going to work out. They went and hired a serious individual as a coach. Pete Carroll is going to do the right thing. Whether they're a great team or not, time will tell. Pete Carroll knows how to win football games in the NFL.
Well, I think he also, too, and this is the most important thing with Pete Carroll, because I doubt he is going to coach long enough to get the Raiders to where they would need to be like serious Super Bowl contender. That takes time. Pete Carroll is what, in his 70s?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's only so long he can be doing this. But if you're looking for someone who can quickly reset a culture, so the next guy that fills his seat is in a good place to take the Raiders to the Super Bowl, it'd be hard to find anybody better than Pete Carroll.
Think about the guys that they've had recently. I'm just going, you've had Gruden, which felt like that was one of those, like, what, really? Okay. Like, good luck with that. He'd been out of the game for a long time.
Even without hearing from Keyshawn all the reasons that was a terrible idea, the instant it happened, I was like, oh my God. Could you be more of just star bleepers?
And, by the way, John Gruden was never really thought of as a great coach. Like, he kind of caught the right team at the right time. That was a weird one. Yeah, Josh McDaniels, which clearly he is not head coaching material. He's had a couple of swings at it. It has not worked out. You put in an interim coach, which is almost always a bad idea. You promoted Antonio Pierce. He lasted 1 year. Pete Carroll knows what's up. Tom Brady knows what's up. And if Tom Brady is in the room and saying, I think this is the right guy, I think that's the right guy, you can probably have a pretty good idea that this is the right guy. And now look at what they've done. They went and they get Carroll. They got Brady in the room. They made a really good pick in Brock Bowers last year. They've extended Max Crosby, who's an elite level player. And you went out and got an NFL quarterback. Geno Smith is an NFL quarterback. Is he Patrick Mahomes? No. Is he better than anything they've had in that building for a while? By a mile. By a mile. Way better than Carr and Minshew and all those other guys. And they just went yesterday and drafted a guy. I know running backs are kind of out of favor, but if he's like a special back, like we've seen in Saquon or McCaffrey and Todd Gurley for a minute or two, if you're got a guy like that, they're on to something. And that division is brutal. Kansas City, really good. Denver, playoff team a year ago. Chargers, playoff team a year ago. So I'm not saying they're going to go out there and win 12 games, but the Raiders work again.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think Pete Carroll is going to be the coach that takes the Raiders to the Super Bowl just because they have so much work still to do. And Pete Carroll's in his 70s. I don't think there will be time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think he is the guy to reset the culture that this organization has needed, frankly, for decades. They have needed to get on a better track. They have been poorly run. They have been rudderless. Pete Carroll is somebody that I think is both good at identifying what needs to be done and will get buy-in. Like you mentioned Tom Brady. I'll be honest, I'm not sold that Brady is necessarily going to be great at identifying talent, you know, like that he knows what's up. Like, I don't know. Like, you're giving him a benefit of the doubt that he knows what's up when it comes to diagnosing stuff on the field. Like, if you needed...
You think there might be a Michael Jordan effect in this to some degree?
Well, there could be. I mean, there might not be. I'm just saying we have not seen enough from Tom Brady to know one way or the other how much he can help turn the organization around, other than if you want good people... They may want to be around Tom Brady.
Perhaps.
Like, he might be a magnet to bring in people better qualified than Brady.
Here's why I think that Brady might be on it. Because prior to Brady being here, none of the stuff they did made any sense. Now that he's here, what's happened? Well, they went and they hired Pete Carroll. They went and they made a deal for Geno Smith. Those things just make sense. Okay. And so the timeline of those things lining up, drafting Ashton Genty makes sense to me. That before... They were just kind of all over the map, and this is a series of decisions that kind of coincides with his arrival in that organization.
Okay, I hadn't thought about it that way. I guess also, too, I was thinking more like identifying talent on the field.
Yeah.
Like that piece of it.
Time will tell on that.
Yeah, we have no idea how good or bad Brady is at that. He might be great at it.
Yeah.
But serious people will want to be around Tom Brady. And if nothing else, if he thinks Geno Smith is... a suitable quarterback for you, I will take his word for it that he can identify that.
What the Raiders would have done a year ago or 2 years ago or 5 years ago, they would have drafted Shedeur Sanders last night. They would have done the thing where, and maybe it would work out and maybe it wouldn't, but it would have been one of those, Shedeur Sanders is famous, we need a quarterback, and let's take him, as opposed to, listen, Geno Smith is not the second coming of Josh Allen, but you know what he's not going to do? He's not going to sink our season. He's not going to Gardner Minshew this. He's not going to Aiden O'Connell this. He will be just fine. We won't have a quarterback problem. Let's bring him in. Old Raiders would have taken a flyer on a guy that clearly 32 teams in the league said, I don't need him right now.
Those 32 teams ultimately may be wrong in the way that they evaluated Shedeur Sanders. But what I think was correct about the Raiders with Sanders is I don't think they are ready to put Sanders in the best position to succeed.
I agree.
Like how good he will or won't be, time's going to tell.
They would never have considered what you just described 5 years ago.
Right. I don't think they are in a position to do the best by Sanders or by themselves if they draft Sanders.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he's going to get picked today?
I would think so.
I would think so. Everybody's speculating about this like Mel Kiper after every pick. Shedeur say it's like, we get it, Mel. You like Shedeur. We get it, and you might be right. To your point, Andy, it may turn out. We've seen a lot of great quarterbacks in this league not get drafted in the first round. A bunch of them. It happens all the time. We'll see what happens.
We just talked about Tom Brady.
Right. Most of them are picked near the front, but not all of them. So he may have the last laugh on all of this. But we're talking about how much of this is Dion, how much of this are the bad interviews that he reportedly did, how much of this is that he's never played for anybody other than his father, et cetera, et cetera. Those, I'm sure, are all part of the calculus to make these decisions. But we know what else could probably be true? He's just not very good. That as far as the measurable things that they're looking for when they make it, he's not fast enough, he's not big enough, he's not this, he's not whatever those things are, because for everybody to kind of land in the same place means something.
Well, here's what I found interesting about this, and I'm not going to pretend that I've seen enough of Sanders or that I'm enough of a college football expert to say they're all making a mistake.
Yeah.
But what I do think is interesting about, the anonymous NFL scout, the anonymous exec that have said these things about Sanders, bad interview, bad body language, whatever. The word that always is next to exec or scout, long time.
And
it makes me wonder, how old is this exec or scout or whatever? And how many of them it's just a generational thing and they don't like the way Sanders conducts himself as a 20 or 21-year-old, as opposed to, is Sanders really being an entitled, arrogant bleep during these interviews?
If it was ageism, I think somebody would have taken him. If there were like, we don't love the fact that he's jumping up and down, showing his watch, but you know what? He's the best guy. We need a guy. Take him. They will get over that. The fact that everybody kind of said, not yet. He's going to get picked, and he's going to make a team, and he's going to play, or at least be given a shot to play at some point. But the unanimity, is that the word I want?
It is.
Unanimity of all 32 teams saying, no, not quite yet. He's just simply not the guy I need at this spot.
Well, I mean, it's all 32 teams, but at the same time, some of those teams would have no reason to draft him in the first place.
Yeah, true.
Like, the idea that the Bills passed on Shedeur Sanders, like, that should not be treated as a knock on Sanders.
Sure.
They have no reason to draft him.
But it's the Steelers, it's the Giants, it's the Browns.
It's the Saints.
Well, I mean, if the Browns pass on him, that feels like points for Sanders.
Well,
what the hell do they know about evaluating a quarterback?
They're a mess. I actually think that they made a good trade yesterday.
Sure.
I think that the trade to...
I'm just saying, the idea that the Browns, who've had like 50 quarterbacks since Bernie Kosar, like,
I'm
if
a
anything,
Brian Sipe man myself, but that's just me.
I mean, if they passed on him, that makes me feel like they made a mistake.
That's a mark in Shedeur's column.
Yeah.
I do like what they did with the Travis Hunter thing, though.
Sure.
Because Jacksonville's another one of those. If you like it, go ahead.
Well,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Except they've got an opportunity to check out Travis Hunter at two different spots.
Mm-hmm.
He only needs to be great at one.
He does.
And if he is great at one, they win.
I agree. If he turns out to be a Pro Bowl caliber player, they win.
And here's the difference too. Nobody seemed to disagree that Travis Hunter would be good.
No, he's a incredibly talented athlete and by the way, he would be good at either of them. Had he decided I want to be a wide receiver, he probably gets picked about where he did. If you said I just want to be a corner, he probably gets picked about where he did. So if he hits both, it's a huge win for Jacksonville. Here's my problem with this. Jacksonville.
Sure.
That if the Rams decided they wanted to try this, if the 49ers decided they wanted to try this, or the Steelers or the Packers or some of these teams that just function correctly,
right?
Great. Jacksonville has made a very compelling case that they never function correctly.
Here's the
they
thing.
Get a new coach every year. They got new coordinators every year.
I'm guessing that they identified the talent in Travis Hunter correctly, and we should trade up to get this guy in our building. I think that part of it they likely nailed.
Yeah.
It's the what do we do with Travis Hunter? What do we do with this team now that we have him? That's the part that I don't trust him. The idea that they would make this trade, I'm guessing they made the right trade.
Yeah, if he turns out to be good at
because
at least
your
one of these
argument against
spots.
Jacksonville, that holds no matter who they draft.
Yes, that's exactly. They're going to. I remember sending a tweet out when the Browns drafted Trent Richardson out of Alabama, like literally with the third pick in the draft. I think it was the Browns draft Trent Richardson, and I tweeted and said condolences to Trent Richardson on the end of his career. Was right.
Yeah.
Now that's just me getting lucky and making a stupid joke. But I do think there's something to it. Like, for instance, let's talk about the guy. We can come back and talk about this. The comparison to Ohtani, I think, is not just that he does two things, but it's where he's going to start to try to do the two things that is particularly interesting. And, oh, by the way, I get to see him tonight try to hit off Paul Skenes. It's coming up next. It's Trav and Andy, 710 ESPN.
It's the night that an All-American becomes a top pick in the National Football League.
The 2025 NFL Draft is now officially open.
Today is rounds 2 and 3 live from Green Bay, and we'll bring them to you. Join Cappy, Marcus Graham, myself, Chris Morales, producer Lindsay Baseball, and more, broadcasting live from the Rams Draft House in Van Nuys. That's right, the official Rams Draft headquarters. We're going to be there, bringing you all the moments of rounds 2 and 3. And when we go to Lakers coverage on 710, we'll continue our coverage live on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles. And don't forget, Saturday, we've got the NFL Draft all day long, courtesy of ESPN Radio. We are your home of the Los Angeles Rams and the NFL Draft. 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
Cap here. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt. With years of experience and a passion for helping people, if you've got water damage at home, call Avner Gatt today. 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. That's 818-917-5256. Avner Gatt. Your claim, our game.
Big on protein, rich on flavor. The new $10 Islands Restaurant's protein bowls are here for a limited time. Packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients for the flavors you love. Just in a bowl. Find your protein paradise at islandsrestaurants.com.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Hey guys, what's up? It's George Sedano. Waiting is never fun. Usually nothing good happens when you wait. My friend Jacob in the law offices of Jacob and Ronnie want to make sure you don't wait after an accident. Immediately after an accident, before talking to the insurance company, call Jacob, man. Jacob and his team will do all the work, make all the phone calls, handle the paperwork, set up the doctor's appointments, whatever the case may be. And when you speak to the insurance company first, it's a big mistake. Because you know why? They may later use your words against you. However, Jacob and his team, they'll guide you through the process, get you the compensation you deserve, and you don't have to pay Jacob unless he wins. Nothing out of pocket. Free. Gratis. So if you're injured in an accident, the first name, the first thought, the first call should be Jacob. Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. The consultation is free. That's right. Free. I told you. Gratis. Don't wait. Call Jacob 24 hours a day at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Call him 844-24-JACOB or visit him online at calljacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Hey, it's Mace, and there's no better place to watch sports than Cosm. The Cosm Dome has got massive high-resolution display. It creates the ultimate immersive experience with a massive wraparound screen that throws you in the middle of the action. The Cosm Hall features wall-to-wall exciting pro and college games. Catch all the heart-pounding excitement of both the NBA and NHL playoffs. Secure your tickets now at Cosm. That's COSM.com and experience the game like never before. Cosm.com.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry, Terry.
Keep awkwardly
Terry,
chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Physicality was not a problem in Game 2.
Here comes Minnesota. Look out. Here's Ant-Man. LeBron stole it. LeBron down the middle. LeBron all the way to the rim and in. Huge play by LeBron. 92-81 Lakers.
Now a tied series. It's time to take care of business for Game 3 in Minnesota.
Lakers, T-Wolves.
Coverage today at 5 p.m. with the Toyota Lakers Countdown on your home of Lakers basketball.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
So, headed to Dodger Stadium tonight to watch the Dodgers and the the Pirates, I should say. Paul Skenes, Yamamoto, pretty good night. Looking
you guys
forward
are
to
gonna
that.
have fun, man.
I can't wait, and I've never seen Skenes in person. I've seen him on TV. I'm really looking forward to it, and it's an Ohtani night.
Am I remembering correctly, Emily? Didn't you go to a Skenes game?
I did last year.
That's
I
what
went
I
to
thought.
a Skenes game, and I believe it's a game in which Gavin Stone got injured. But I went to a Skenes game.
And then the last time,
big fan.
The last time we went to a game together, we saw a triple play.
Oh, that's right.
And that was not in the.
It was not in our
Dodgers'
favor. It was the Padres did it.
That
bro.
was nuts.
Not only was it a triple play, it was a bananas triple play where Machado actually had to go like one step to his left at third, race back to the bag, and still have time to turn the rest of it. It was wild.
It ended the game?
It was the ninth inning.
Yeah,
It was
that's
a
what
play.
I thought, yeah.
Nobody out, first and second, Miguel Rojas up, King Kong, Shohei Ohtani on deck, thinking that they're down one run.
Yeah,
so
he's gonna
Ohtani's
go-
going to hit with a runner on base at worst. The only way Ohtani doesn't come up is exactly what happened, and it happened.
It's like a walk-off triple play.
It's exactly what it was. And I think I said it to you.
Yeah.
Like the whole stadium went, ugh. And then I turned, I'm like,
He's holding his head at the. I think we just saw a triple play. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, triple play.
and then as we're walking up the aisle, I said, that was pretty cool. Because it was. It was pretty cool.
Look, I am a massive, massive Laker fan.
Yeah.
In the moment, I recognized AI stepping over Ty Lue. That was really badass.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Sometimes it's just
That was
all right,
awesome.
There you go. So get to see Ohtani tonight too, who has hit a home run off of Skenes. But Ohtani, of course, lends itself to comparisons to Travis Hunter, and I do think that Jacksonville is both the worst place for him to end up because Jacksonville does not have a track record of developing great players and
Not for a
making
long
great
time,
decisions, not for a long time. But there's a similarity of to try to do something that's never been done before, which is basically what Hunter is going to attempt to do, to be a wide receiver full-time and be a defensive back full-time, is not unlike what Ohtani tried to do when he came from Japan and went to the Angels. Do it somewhere where you're not going to generate a ton of attention because there's a huge expectation to win. They have a lot of built-in media. They have a huge fan base. You can kind of sort of experiment and tinker with this to see what works best for you while we figure out whether it's a good idea or not. That is, the Angels were that. It wasn't the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Cubs where, hey, dude, we got to go win the World Series. It's the Angels. Just kind of go do your thing and see if you can figure this out.
Yeah, I would like to think that the Jaguars, whether right before they drafted Hunter or putting out feelers, that sort of thing, they just presented the idea of, we will give this a try.
Mm-hmm.
We are not going to promise that we're going to commit to it for your time in Jacksonville, but we are going to give this a serious look, and we're going to give you a real opportunity to do the thing that you want. And then you just hope that Travis Hunter is reasonable enough to recognize that if it's not working for whatever reason, the reason might not even be Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
If it's not working, okay, we'll pick a position. But you give him a chance.
DeMarco was talking about how, and DeMarco is of the opinion that it just physically can't be done. That if he is a defensive back and a wide receiver, that when he is on, if he's their primary wide receiver, that when he's on defense, the opposing team will just target him and just physically make his life miserable, maul him, send tackles at him, sweeps. They're just going to bang him and bang him and bang him until it doesn't work. And it makes sense to me. That is a compelling argument as to why this is unlikely to work. But it's not unlike the arguments that people were saying about Ohtani. And well, he's not Ohtani. Probably not. But no one thought Ohtani was Ohtani until he was.
I mean, the difference to me between what Ohtani was doing versus what Travis Hunter wants to try, what Ohtani was trying to do on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 10 in terms of difficulty, but it's not as taxing as what you're asking of, physically taxing as what you're asking of Travis Hunter.
No, he's not going to get 300-pound guys aren't going to be able to put their hands on him. I get that. That isn't what Ohtani has to deal with from like a bumps and bruises.
Degree of difficulty, it's a 10.
It really is. And even physically, maybe not as painful, but physically, to take your 5 at-bats a night, to prepare as a pitcher, to get in all the work that you have to do, it's not as dangerous, but the load is real.
It's a lot, but I mean, you're not running around, particularly like the way...
I agree with you. I just think that Ohtani kind of did the thing that at least because it's so fresh, I'm willing to remember this. I'm sure I'll forget in several years. Don't say never. That because it was, nobody's ever done this for a reason. Yeah, okay, but maybe he can.
I mean, look, nobody thought Bo Jackson could do the things that he did until he did them. Dion played multiple sports. That sounded crazy at the time.
I don't think people remember how good of a baseball player Dion was.
Dion was really good.
Dion, Pro Football Hall of Famer. Like, he's a football, we know. Dion was a really good major league player. And had he been a full-time major league player, probably would have been an all-star.
I mean, Dion is up there with Bo Jackson as like one of the best just pure athletes to ever play professional sport. Like Deion Sanders was in the 1% of the 1% of the 1% in just terms of gifted athletes.
He would play an NFL game, jump on a plane and fly and go play in the World Series and start.
Like LeBron, to put it in perspective, LeBron is one of the few people that you think about, if you'd put him in any sport, it would have worked.
Yeah, he would have figured it out.
Like he would, and probably figured it out at a super, super high level.
All right, real quick, before we're getting up against it. The Clippers, we talked about them blowing out the Nuggets last night. They're going to win that series. And they look really good.
They do.
And there's nothing weird. The only variable is Kawhi's health. Mm-hmm. That if you and I talk tomorrow morning and Kawhi was out for the rest of the playoffs, neither one of us would fall over in shock. No. It's Kawhi Leonard. Assuming his health, they got a shot, man.
They're
like a real shot, not
They're
in a.
Very good.
What if they do it? Like, really, not in the, because for like the last 10 years or so, maybe even a little bit longer than that, they've been good, but it's like, nah. Or Kawhi's been hurt, nah. Like, they have their own building. They
I was
going to
say,
real
it would
home
be
court
very
advantage.
fitting if they did it in the first year of truly having what is now their own identity, their own space.
And it seems to be a home court advantage. And what really stop and think, what does the city look like? What do they look like if all of a sudden in the middle of June there's a parade in Los Angeles, only it's the Clippers who are holding it?
We're all going to have to come up with new material.
That's crazy to think about.
We will be affected by this. Like, forget the way the Clippers will be as an organization, like the way Clipper fans will be.
Yeah.
Like, we will be forced to get away from all the fallback jokes that we've always had about the Clippers. Like, we will have to work harder if this happens.
Does it go the way it did when the Angels won the World Series? Which is, okay, you won that's great. And it was a good World Series. It was exciting. You came back. It was a really over kind of a marquee team in the Giants, but it was, hey, they finally did it. They've been here a long time, but it didn't really change anything.
Well, it didn't change anything because they never followed up on it in a really significant way. If the Clippers win it all this year, and then between now and 2030, win one more championship.
Yeah.
All of us, and which implies at least that they've likely had some runs in between. All of a sudden, again, like, just so people don't misconstrue what I'm saying, this is not going to become a Clipper town.
No,
like that.
no,
I'm not having
no.
that stupid conversation.
No.
Like the Lakers have.
They're not trying to do
No,
that.
they're not trying to do that. The Lakers have institutional gravity, generational gravity that the Clippers will take like decades upon decades to even attempt to match. That's not the conversation. But they will be looked at differently. They will be seen as different because they will have achieved the pinnacle a few times. Most organizations don't win multiple championships.
Right. And they'd have an identity that is something other than those bozos.
Well, I mean,
those bozos that share a building, that had Donald Sterling as their owner, that could never get out of their own way. It would be an official end to Donald Sterling. It would be all of the stuff that you're talking about, the jokes. It's like you have to cover up the Laker banners. We're done with this.
Forget the idea that they've never won a championship. They've never been to the finals.
I know.
They will go from, in this scenario that we're talking about, pure hypothetical, they will go from never having gone to the finals to they've won a couple championships.
Yeah.
Like, again, don't make the Lakers comparison because that's a dumb comparison. But in terms of does their identity change? The answer is yes, it does.
It could happen. I wouldn't pick them at this point, but I would not bet against them either. They're going to get they got Kawhi playing at this level is as good as you could ask for. I'm not saying he's the best player in the league, but the way he's playing right now,
damn good.
There's not a lot of answers. He's still that guy defensively. He can get buckets whenever he wants them. He's completely unflappable in these moments. He is a real terrifying guy to have on a team that you're trying to beat.
So far, James Harden has been better in these playoffs than he's been in past ones. Ivica Zubac has turned into
Fantastic.
A beast.
Well, the thing about Harden, and I think Harden would probably not want to hear this, and I'm sure he would push back. If he's your leading man, you're dead. You're dead. If he's your second guy, let's go.
Yeah.
Like he's a great second guy because he can have a night where he goes off. But if I got to have it, we're going to Kawhi.
Right. And then a guy like Norm Powell has been very good all year. Derek Jones Jr., Nick Batum. Like they've got a lot of
well coached.
Yeah. Ty Lue is maybe the best coach in the league at just making the most out of what he has.
Yep.
Like you always know Ty Lue will maximize what is in front of him. And that's a skill not too many coaches have.
Hot and Cold's coming up next is Trav. Andy's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
The Kings clobbered the Oilers in Game 2.
And verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
One of LA's best kept secrets in the heart of Los Angeles, East Central Hotel offers effortless accommodations and unparalleled accessibility. The East Central Hotel is for everyone looking for entertainment with their trendy spacious rooms, a renovated gym, and a patio lounge for breakfast, dinner, and drinks. Stop by their incredible Nixo Lounge before your next event at LA Live. Book your stay at eastcentralhotel.com or call 213-748-1291 today at Entertainment's official address.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood carpet and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
Coverage of the 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN LA is driven by your SoCal Hyundai dealers. There's never been a better time to test drive that Hyundai you've always wanted. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey. Visit your SoCal Hyundai dealer today.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could beat lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text EDGE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text EDGE to 42424. That's EDGE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
As you know, we've welcomed the new partner here at 710 ESPN, NextGen. NextGen, the official AC, heat, and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans.
You're as cold as ice.
Call 833-3-NEXTGEN, NEXGEN, or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Time for our feature we do 3 days a week. Who's hot? Who's cold? Thanks to NextGen. Boy, time for Who's Hot? Who's Cold? Take it away, Producer M.
Hello. Ahoy, hoy.
Okay. What's hot is The Golden Bachelor, Season 2. The Golden Bachelor will be former Rams linebacker.
The Rams?
Mel Owens.
Mel Owens.
Is 66 years old. He was drafted in 1981 and the 9th overall pick to the Rams. He played at Michigan. He retired in 1991 due to injury. Following his retirement, he pursued a career in law at Orange County, where he serves those looking for justice for sports-related injuries. Maybe Mel is a listener. So shout out, Mel, if you are a listener here. But I'm excited for The Golden Bachelor. I really liked the first season. It made me cry, it made my heart happy to see people like getting another chance at love again.
Old
because
people falling in love.
Because a lot of these people are like, they're single because their wife or husband had passed away. And so it's just like...
It's the movie Up.
Yeah, exactly. I want people... I like when people find love. And I don't think Gary found love in the first season. They are now divorced. But hopefully Mel has a different story.
Mel looks the part. I just Googled him, and he looks like somebody that would be on a show like that. He's in good shape. Yeah. He's handsome. He's got a nice smile. He's incredibly telegenic. And if he's got a little bit of whatever that thing is that makes people root for you, it'll be terrific. I won't watch it, but I'm sure you will keep me fully informed.
Does it matter that he never made a Pro Bowl?
Yeah, how great would that be? Do they do the rose thing and they get out of the limo? Like if one of the contestants comes out of the limo and go, how did you miss that tackle against the Seahawks in 1984?
He is really going to have to be milking 1986 NFC Defensive Player of Week 3.
Oh, nice.
He's going to be playing that card a lot.
I hope that one of the women is like a huge football fan and is like super into that portion of getting to know him. That would be terrific.
And I think he probably is obviously a fan of football. If he played football, is working with sports-related injuries. He's not the first Bachelor to be a former NFL player. They've had Jesse Rogers, who's works for ESPN. They also had
Jesse Palmer.
Jesse Palmer, yes, not Rogers. And then Colton Underwood, who was the first gay Bachelor, too. He came out after the series.
Okay.
He did the whole Bachelor, and then he came out now and is now married, and that's great for him.
That's a twist.
Yeah, definitely a twist.
Played 9 playoff games.
Mel.
Yeah. Played in total 9 playoff games. In his career, over 9 seasons, 4 interceptions for a grand total of 37 combined yards. 9 fumble recoveries, and again, he was the 1986 Week 3 Defensive Player of the Week.
Hey, that's a resume.
It is.
That's a resume. I'll take it. And Bachelor.
If we ever get a chance to speak to him, we'll bring that up. But hope Mel finds love.
Yeah.
What's cold is April 25th. Okay, I'm only bringing this up because it's a scene from one of my favorite movies of all time. Miss Congeniality, and I'm going to play this for you right now. This is a Mrs. Rhode Island speaking in their interview portion of Mrs. America contest.
Describe your perfect date.
It's a tough one. I'd have to say April 25th, because it's not too hot, not too cold. All you need is a light jacket.
She was asked to describe her perfect date and gave a date of the year.
Wonderful.
Okay, so from each of you, I want your favorite date of the year, and then describe your perfect romantic date.
Would you like to go first, Andy, or would you like me to go?
You go.
Okay, so my perfect date of the year is something in May. It's very unlikely to be hot, and it's almost not going to be cold. Right, June you can get a little gray. Anything past June in Southern California, it could be 95 degrees, and you have no idea. And then once you get into December, January, it could be gray and all that stuff. So give me something in May. May's a good. So let's call it May 11th. Right, smack towards the middle. A romantic date involves really good food at a restaurant that has a spectacular view to the ocean, or like a winery with the fields, the rolling hills, and all that stuff, and a 5-star hotel where you go back and everything is exactly the way that it's supposed to be.
That's pretty good.
That's the perfect date.
I'm along those lines, except I'd like a walk in there.
Oh,
like
nice.
Like a nice walk.
Through the vineyard.
Through the vineyard or through the surroundings. It used to be like dinner and a movie, but I will be honest, as I've gotten older,
it's a lot.
Well, it's more, it becomes harder to stay up.
Yeah.
Especially in those seats, and it's dark. You get really comfortable. I can't really see a movie now past like 7:30 or 8.
Either or.
I will start to drift off.
We're dinner or a movie. I can't do both because then the hotel room does me no good. I'm done.
Well, and also, too, it's like, especially if you go see the movie after dinner, you've eaten, you've maybe had a cocktail, you even get sleepier.
Yes.
As far as the time of year...
And by the way, the best time to see a movie is 11 a.m. or 4 p.m.
Both
yes.
good. Both good.
Yes. Matinees, highly underrated.
Sorry. Anyway, I cut you off. What's your favorite date of the year?
Date of the year? I do kind of like... I like either early spring or kind of early fall, because it's not super hot, but it's not cold. I hate cold.
Yeah.
I do not like winter. Like, winter in California is about the most I can handle, and I know this because I've done colder winters. I grew up in cold.
Low of 58 is perfect. Like, as cold as it's going to get is 58, great.
It's a little chilly, but I can deal with it. So probably something like that, like early spring-ish, early fall-ish.
If you could guarantee me early fall wouldn't be hot, I'd be with you. But the problem is, like, my birthday is in November, and I've had birthdays where it was 50-some degrees, and I've had birthdays where it's 100.
I mean, Christmas here can be 80 degrees.
Yeah, I that's just
well,
too,
and
too
the
much
thing
of
is,
a
too,
variance.
it's like my perfect date, especially if she's listening, is with my wife.
Of course.
And it can't be in the summer or hot weather, because my wife hates hot.
Okay.
And if it gets too hot, that's going to put her in a bad mood, which will affect. So I'm thinking about this in part. What does my date want as well?
You need a crispness in the air, that just a little snap that keeps everybody on their toes.
All right, Jorge, what's your favorite date of the year and favorite romantic date?
So it's early June, because you're like already in summer.
Maybe June 6th, because that's a lovely date for everybody to
There
know
you go.
about and celebrate.
Anything else going on June 6th?
Oh, yeah, I was born then.
Oh, interesting.
And then we did this a couple of times, but when I had my Harley, we would ride down to San Diego. We would take a ride, a 2-hour ride, whatever. We took our time down there, and then, we would have the dinner, stay at a nice place.
Did she ever drive, or was it always you?
It was always me. Yeah, but we would ride down.
Sidecar?
No, come on, man. This ain't World War II, fool.
That's not romantic.
I would love to see us in a sidecar like that.
With the goggles.
Like, by the way, the only chance I'm getting on a motorcycle is in a sidecar, because I'm not riding one. I'm not man enough to do it. And I'm not sitting on the back of a motorcycle. That's not happening. So it's sidecar or bust.
But it was that, or we would go to the canyons, like up
that's a good
Mount
spot.
Baldy or Wrightwood, and we would go for a nice ride. That was our thing before then. Kids.
If I were ever a motorcycle guy, and I would love to be a motorcycle
Exactly.
guy, like back through Los Olivos, Santa Barbara, and the other, not like the coastal Santa Barbara would be great too, but on the other side of the mountains back there.
I've always wanted to be a motorcycle guy, and unfortunately, I have too much family, whether my immediate family or my wife, who have truly forbid this as a thing.
Have you ridden motorcycles?
Yeah, I have ridden motorcycles. I've driven one short distance before.
Okay.
The Vespa don't count.
No, this is an actual motorcycle. It was an actual motorcycle. I one time went motorcycle looking where in my head I was shopping all the while knowing I'm not actually going to buy this thing, but I've always wanted to be a motorcycle guy.
100%. I want the jacket. I don't want to ride it on the freeways of LA. I want to ride it on a 2-lane highway in the middle of nowhere, but I don't want to have to like be at risk. Is there a way to do that?
You're right on your own risk, my man.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. I need like some sort of protective shield around me. On
How
my
many
motorcycle.
wheelies did you pop with Brenda?
No wheelies, man. None.
I just picture her on the back, holding on for dear life. No chance. All right, it is a Cosm Ticket Friday. Experience the thrill of the playoffs like never before at Cosm. Give us a shout, 877-710-ESPN right now, and caller number 7 will win the ultimate Cosm prize pack, which includes 1 pair of tickets to watch the Lakers Game 4. That's 12:30 on Sunday. You get a pair of tickets to the Kings Game 4. That's 6:30 on Sunday. It's all happening this weekend, Sunday, April 27th at Cosm LA. Limited tickets available through Cosm.com or the Cosm mobile app. Call in for your chance to win only from 710 ESPN. The Dump coming up next. And also, Who's Hot, Who's Cold is brought to you by Next Gen, the official AC, heat, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. Call 833-3-NEXT-GEN or visit nextgenaironplumbing.com.
The biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland on 710.
You know we can all hear that, right?
Yes.
Why do you type so hard?
Okay, I want people to hear how much work I'm doing.
That doesn't surprise anyone.
I want
who knows
everybody
you.
to know that I'm constant. Yeah, sometimes I turn my mic off. I've gotten better about turning my mic off when I'm typing like that.
That's annoying.
The mic thing is more annoying than the typing.
You also bang the table a lot. So it shakes,
what is it?
shakes
Pick
the
on
camera.
me day? Is that what it is? Pick on Mason
Is
day?
it like DeMarco, I was going to say older person thing, but DeMarco also did that. Like,
Did you say that? It's an older person
He's like,
thing?
That's the wrong thing to say to Mason.
An older
you haven't
person
been working
thing?
with him long
You
enough.
just called Mason old. That will live in his head for the
older
whole
person
weekend.
thing.
You just lost a friend.
Yeah, you
Laura.
came out and called me an older person.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Next at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Hey, it's Mace. LA, it's time to get real. Jacob and Ronnie is the real deal. Injured? Unsure of who to trust? Call Jacob. He's recovered hundreds of thousands of dollars where other attorneys might settle immediately for pennies. Get a partner who's committed to turning your setback into a comeback. Call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Or remember, call Jacob.com. Jacob is the real deal.
Call Jacob.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, Joe Q. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
It's time for everything we haven't gotten to today. Yes, it's time for the dump.
All right. I want to start with an anniversary today. Today in 1976, the year of the American Bicentennial, right? When the quarters with the Eagles on the back came out and the little drummer guy.
Little drummer
What was
guy.
that, Patrick Henry or something? I don't know. Whoever was playing the drum. It was also the anniversary of, at the time, Cubs outfielder Rick Monday ran and stole a flag from 2 people who had run into right field at Dodger Stadium to burn the American flag. Monday, again, member of the Cubs at the time, kind of comes in behind them and snatches the flag away from them, hands it to somebody else, and became kind of a Dodger legend in the moment, even though he was a member of the Cubs when it happened.
Damn hippies.
Right. The hippies were trying to burn the flag.
It's funny you say that because I am obviously aware of this story.
Sure.
I always think of Monday doing that as a Dodger.
Yeah.
Like
I think a lot of people do.
I always forget that he was not a member of the Dodgers when that happened. Because you think of Rick Monday as a Dodger more than anything else between his time with the Dodgers as a player.
Calling games forever.
He's been calling games forever.
Yeah.
I'll take it a step further. I have forgotten that Rick Monday played anywhere else.
I know,
but the Dodgers.
I know, and he when it came to the Dodgers, after that, of course, he hit the big home run in 1981 at the Expos. But Rick Monday's most memorable moment had nothing to do with baseball. It had to do with him kind of being an American hero in the moment. And if you turn on a game and Rick Monday's calling it, it's probably coming up at some point. If he's at a banquet, it's coming up at some point.
His voice is so recognizable.
Absolutely.
Okay, take it a step further that in my mind's eye, Rick Monday is doing this to the damn hippies as a member of the Dodgers. I had no idea that Rick Monday at any point in his career played for the Athletics.
So I have a bit of Rick Monday trivia. You ready
No
for
clue.
this? Rick Monday holds a place of baseball history. Rick Monday is the first ever number 1 overall draft pick. He was the first player taken when they instituted a draft. Before, scouts would go around, you could just sign people willy-nilly. There wasn't an organized draft. And Rick Monday was the first player selected the first year of the common draft. He's the first ever number 1 overall pick.
Do you know where he went to high school?
I know he went to Arizona State. And hold on. Did he go to Santa Monica High School?
He did go to Santa Monica High School.
I know a lot of Rick Monday trivia.
Born in Batesville, Arkansas.
And ended up at Santa Monica High School.
Santa Monica High School.
Good job, Rick. It was today in 1976. Couple of birthdays. Al Pacino turns 85. I'm taking The Godfather off the table, Andy.
Godfather off the table.
The most recognizable Al Pacino role.
Most recognizable Al Pacino role.
The one that you think of first that's not Michael Corleone.
That's not Michael Corleone. It's pretty great in Donnie Brasco.
You know why Donnie Brasco's so great? It's one of the few times he plays a loser.
Yeah.
And he's good at it.
He's pretty great in that. I'll tell you one that I think about lately because I've come to really recognize how fun his performance, Devil's Advocate.
Oh, yeah.
He's so much fun in the Devil's Advocate. He's Serpico. It might be Serpico. Serpico might be his most
good movie.
Come on, Pelican. Actually, that's
Tony
the
Montana?
answer. That's the actual answer.
Yeah.
It's not my answer. I think Scarface is
bad.
It's a fun, terrible movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty terrible. It's fun.
I'm glad to hear
But it's very zeitgeisty.
I felt I'm on an island with that.
It was a flop in the moment. Like hip hop reinvented Scarface into the cultural phenomenon that it is. When it came out, it was reviled.
As our resident cinephile, are you an Al Pacino fan or no?
I think
That's a
it just
no.
depends on the role.
Yeah.
I like some. I think it's more often than not, the movies he's in are not necessarily movies that I gravitate towards.
Okay.
But I think he's good. He's obviously great in The Godfather.
Sorry, actually, Heat.
Great.
I was going to say, I was surprised you bring up Heat.
Yeah.
I was put on the spot, and I'm very surprised that I didn't say Heat because I watch the movie Heat a lot.
Heat's great.
Heat is now back on Netflix, and so it's now having another Heat renaissance on film Twitter.
Yes.
So,
Heat is one of those. You see, I'll stick around for a while.
I like Heat. It's good.
Everybody likes Heat.
Exactly.
It's a great heist movie. It's
very
a great cop
surprised
and
I did
robbers
not
movie.
quickly say Heat.
Happy birthday to one of the mainstays of a show that you and I talk about. Yeah, we got you, John. What's up? I could hear that. I don't know if you could hear him say that. Ireland, did you hear that,
I could not
Andy?
hear that.
Oh, John's in my ear. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
But I don't know what to do. Yeah. John, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right, man. Thanks.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll figure that out in a second. You and I talk about this still a lot, Andy. Happy 61st birthday to Hank Azaria.
Oh, he's so great.
He does a lot of voices on The Simpsons.
Does Mo the bartender. He used to do Apu. He's done all these. He's just funny. Like, he's a regular on Levitard. He is so funny on that. He is so good in The Birdcage.
Oh, yeah.
He is so funny in that movie. Like, kind of like the way he's talked about Apu, like, in retrospect, it should have been, an Indian actor voicing that, whatever. He would not have been likely, I think, in 2025, cast in his role in The Birdcage, playing a Guatemalan butler. That said, he is so funny. That actually, he's the guy that in Heat, Pacino says, "'Cause she's got a great ass, too." That's who. And what's great, too, is if you see Azaria's, like, what the bleep reaction, that was apparently real because Pacino improvised that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Hank Azaria, when he's like, oh my God, like, what is happening here? Like, he didn't expect that.
Tim Duncan turns 49 years old today, and one of my favorite things about Tim Duncan's career, a great player, his numbers and Kobe's numbers and their accolades are so remarkably similar. And yet, the way that, at least, maybe it's just because I'm in LA, and maybe it's just because you're surrounded by Laker fans, the way that people talk about Kobe and the way they talk about Tim Duncan are so wildly different. But their numbers are virtually identical to one another.
Kobe had an iconic personality, and Tim Duncan didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Kobe...
Or a personality.
Well, apparently the people that know him say he's actually funny in real life. Like, he keeps a lot of it quiet. But, like, Kobe was beyond all the talent on the court. Like, Kobe had charisma to burn.
Yeah.
Like, Kobe had a fandom unlike, honestly, any athlete I have ever experienced up close. Like, I used to say all the time that, like, Kobe fans used to treat him as half basketball god, half political prisoner. like the way that they would look to take up for him so quickly and so passionately about anything.
Yeah. Here's one for you. 2009, number one overall pick in the NFL draft, still playing today. 2009, number one overall pick, still playing today.
I don't have it in front of me.
Matthew Stafford.
Wow.
Today was the day that Matthew Stafford was picked by the Lions, number one overall out of Georgia. That's where most of the really good quarterbacks come from, is right up near the front of that draft, and Stafford is a good example of, don't overthink this. He's the best guy. Take him number one and let this go. And he's also a good example of, even a talent like that was not able to overcome an organization like that. He did the best you possibly could, but the Lions were bad for 50 years because they're poorly run.
That's one of the most...
Got them to playoffs, didn't win.
Barely got them to the playoffs.
I know.
Like, very rarely got them to the play. And not because of anything he did or didn't do, but think about it. Barry Sanders couldn't turn that ship around. Matthew Stafford couldn't turn that ship around. Calvin Johnson couldn't turn that ship around. And finally now it feels like it has.
That to me is one of the most impressive things about what Dan Campbell did with the Lions, or, I mean, keeping it with Detroit, J.B. Bickerstaff with the Pistons. Like, there's been so much losing and so much, like, residual pain and lack of belief. And when Dan Campbell came into the Lions, he said, we are done with this.
Yeah.
We are not doing this anymore. And it probably helped that he experienced it. He played.
He was on that 0-16 team, I believe.
Yeah, he was a part of the Lions. He's like, I know what this is like. We're not doing this anymore.
And I also think that it's one of the rare things where whenever these players get drafted to the teams they're drafted to, they get if they're picked in the top, they're likely going to a bad team. They're going to a poorly ran organization, which is why they're picking at the top. You rarely see a player that's picked there get to have another chance at their quarterback. Quarterbacks almost always spend the majority of their prime in one place.
If they're any good.
Yeah. And then, you see that Matthew Stafford got a chance to get to the height of what he could possibly do with the Rams.
And I think it was because he was so good and was such a part of the fabric of that city, and he had given everything he has, and he was tough, and he never complained, and he did all the things that you're supposed to do, and he gave him 10 years. And then it's like, guys, I got to take a shot at this. It ain't happening here. What can we work out? And very few people you'd look across him and say, you know what, you're right. We're going to find out something that works for everybody.
That's like he had to want out.
Yes.
A lot of times these players will just take the money that comes because they know the money will come from this organization. They will pay you, but he wanted to want out. He wanted to win.
And that's why this most recent contract negotiation thing, I didn't think he was leaving. He wants to win. He's been places where money's coming and losing is coming. It's not a lot of fun.
Well, especially too, like at his age, like he's still playing really well, but I can promise you it is not easy.
No.
To get yourself up for this at 37 when you've already made stupid money just in your career, not counting endorsements, his mattress commercials now.
He's made $300 million.
Yeah, I mean, he's family money. He's got his wife's podcast money coming in. Like, he doesn't need the money. The idea of doing this at 37 for an extra, I know it feels weird to say this, like an extra $10 million that you don't really need.
He's never going to get to that money.
Like, that's not fun.
Yeah. Winning's fun.
Yeah.
Winning and getting paid is fun, and that's what he can do here, and that's what hopefully they continue to do. Little Super Crosstalk coming up next.
It's the night that an All-American becomes a top pick in the National Football League.
The 2025 NFL Draft is now officially open.
Today is rounds 2 and 3 live from Green Bay, and we'll bring them to you. Join Cappy, Marcus Grip, myself, Chris Morales, producer Lindsay Baseball, and more, broadcasting live from the Rams Draft House in Van Nuys. That's right, the official Rams Draft headquarters. We're going to be there, bringing you all the moments of rounds 2 and 3. And when we go to Lakers coverage on 710, we'll continue our coverage live on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles. And don't forget, Saturday, we've got the NFL Draft all day long, courtesy of ESPN Radio. We are your home of the Los Angeles Rams and the NFL Draft. 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
Pizza City Fest returns to Los Angeles at LA Live on Saturday, April 26th and Sunday, April 27th. The festival offers a stellar lineup of Southern California's best pizza makers in one location, giving fans the unique opportunity to taste, see live demos, and attend panel discussions with culinary experts over 2 days at LA Live. Get more info and buy tickets now at LALive.com/Pizza City Fest LA. Once again, that's LALive.com/Pizza City Fest LA.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. In the market for new flooring? Why pay more at big box stores? At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, every day is a deal, no gimmicks. Call 866-62-FLOOR or visit them online at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net. No sale beats wholesale.
Two LA comedy legends unite to bring it home.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Chokoi.
One night only, March 21st, 2026, SoFi Stadium.
The food, the culture, the people,
The vibe, the energy. This is Gabe's home, and this is my home.
it's LA. So you better believe the two of us are going to bring our A+ game and then some.
Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Chokoi. Gabriel Iglesias.
SoFi Stadium.
Are you kidding me?
This is the Doctor in the Dugout with Dr. Alan Byer, presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
I'm often asked about people who suffer their first back injury, think they've pulled a muscle in their back, and they don't stretch enough as far as their back is concerned. So when do you seek care from a doctor when you've sustained a back injury? At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, we like to tell people that the most important thing is to watch and see if that back pain is radiating down your leg, causing any numbness, causing any weakness, or any bowel or bladder dysfunction. These are surgical problems usually and require require a more urgent visit to the emergency room rather than waiting to see the doctor. If none of these signs are present, it's safe to wait it out, rest for a few days, and seek medical care from your doctor within a week or so. Hope that helps. Keep stretching your back. If that doesn't get better in a week or 10 days, that's when it's time to seek the orthopedic specialist. Hope this keeps you on the field, and keep listening. We'll be back soon.
Keep listening for more on the road to recovery right here on 710 ESPN.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. It's time for Soper Crosstalk.
John, are you there?
Yeah, Trav, this is my second appearance on the Travis and DeMarco show. I'd like to welcome myself back to the show.
What was the first appearance? I missed the first
So
appearance.
we're in the middle of the dump, and Andy and I are having a conversation.
Testing 1, 2?
And all of a sudden, I hear Ireland in my ear. Can you hear me? And I'm like, yeah, I can. I can hear you loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, but you could not hear me, John?
I could.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. So, yes.
But it didn't go over the air. It was just
I was trying to make an early appearance, Trav, but Jorge blocked me.
I understand. I said, well, welcome back. It's good to have you. So we were just talking, Mace. I'm going to go to the Dodger game tonight.
How about
see,
that?
Paul Skenes against Yamamoto. Kings Edmonton.
Wow,
game
what a
3.
matchup that is!
I can't wait to see it. And Oral mentioned this yesterday.
Yep.
We were out at Legends Attic, and like Paul Skenes is built like Paul Bunyan. He's like 6'6". He's just huge and throws 100 miles an hour and just wipes guys out. Yamamoto is not only a regular, he's kind of small.
Yeah,
like
he's the opposite.
Guy,
and they're both just absolutely filled. They might be the two best pitchers in the National League. I can't wait to see it.
Hey, let me ask you guys something. Since you guys follow baseball closer than I do, we can safely assume that Skenes will be off of the Pirates as soon as he can, right? It's like he's legally allowed to, like Garrett Cole did.
Mm-hmm.
So 7
years. I think what'll happen. So 6 years
is your
team control,
right?
Team control for 6 years. It's usually that 5th year that they move you when they know they have no shot.
Right.
So I think that's probably what happens because he's not staying.
Right. Well, they haven't given out a long-term contract, Mason, 30, 40 years?
No, 2018, I think.
They haven't
the
gone
Pirates
a
gave
multiple-year
a
deal,
multiple-year deal.
Yeah.
Since
Really?
2018, yeah. Just 1 year deal, 1 year deal, 1 year deal. Andrew
Seriously?
McCutchen for a year. Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't even offer it to Garrett Cole.
Wow.
Yeah. No, they do not.
I mean, if you study the history of the Pirates, you name it, all those guys get out. Bobby Bonilla, Barry Bonds, Andrew McCutchen, Garrett Cole.
But
I
thought they were just leaving because the team wasn't good or whatever. I didn't realize they didn't give out long-term deals.
Maybe it's an understanding that they know they're not, so they just kind of go about it
But then
a certain
it becomes
way.
self-perpetuating.
It does. It does. Is this just modern baseball, or is this maybe Skenes is the exception to this? I just keep waiting for him to be, this is Paul Skenes' turn to miss a season because he's got to get his arm rebuilt.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems like it's everybody.
It's sort of like guys have their Tommy John, then they come back. I don't think he's had a Tommy John.
Not yet.
So, and a lot of guys think they're better after their first Tommy John.
And it's coming, right?
Yeah.
And because before, when you had that, it's just like, oh man, it happened, and how do you prevent this from happening? But it happens to all of them, and it's happening to more and more of them more than once. May's had 2, Ohtani's had 2. Nathan Eovaldi's had 2. More and more of these guys have had double arm surgeries, and it doesn't even seem to matter anymore. It's just a year that you're on the rack and you don't get the pitch, but it doesn't change anything.
It's so funny to me because, Travis, you've talked a lot about how now all these teams look for from pitchers is just throw as hard as you can. Yep. Hard as you can. We will take the elbow damage and the idea, and we'll take the arm damage. We'll take the lost seasons. That they would rather have the stuff than your availability even.
Well, it's velo and it's spin.
Yeah.
It's both those things.
Yeah.
An accentuation of spin and velo.
It's just murder on your arm.
It is really, and that's why you see guys, by the way, pitching, to the 6th inning.
Yeah.
If you get to the 6th inning, you're kind of happy with the starting pitcher.
Absolutely.
Because there's so much velo and so much spin.
Tyler Glasnow was on Jason Stark's podcast last week or the
That was
week before.
just cramps, right? In his last start?
Yeah, in his legs.
He'll be okay, right?
Well, I mean, he'll be
Last
okay
I
with that,
saw-
but the problem is Glasgow
Right, he
misses
gets hurt every year.
Every single year. And he said on Jason Stark's podcast that the way that he was throw harder. From the moment he was a guy, it's got to throw harder. And they would rather a pitcher give you 100% effort for 100 innings than give something less than that for 200 innings. They'd take the 100 with max effort every pitch than 200 with some sort of throttling back and forth. That doesn't make any sense to me.
No, well, especially because at that point, you have to catch lightning in a bottle with the timing of the 100 innings that you have the guy available or the season you have the guy available, because more often than not, that guy's going to be on the shelf.
But isn't that the game the Dodgers are playing anyway? They've got guys who probably aren't going to throw more than 150 innings this year, maybe more like 100 innings, and you're going to kind of juggle them so that you get those significant innings in the postseason and dial them back during the regular season.
If you could do that and be sure that's the result, okay.
Right. Last year
but
it didn't work.
The problem is you just don't know.
Well, last year did it work or did it not work? I guess in the end it worked.
The plan didn't work, but the result was what you were going for.
Exactly.
And sometimes
Hey, Mace, is your level of concern with the Dodgers still at a 0?
Yeah.
Travis, how about you?
Less than 0.
All right, do you guys both think they're winning the World Series and that's it?
I
question.
I personally do think they're winning the World Series, but in terms of the season, I mean, they've got, I think, the second best record in baseball.
I looked at it this morning. They're tied for 4th.
Okay, tied for the 4th. They got like 15 wins or something
16.
like 16.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason to be alarmed about anything.
I don't know, John, if I'd go and say, well, they're going to win the World Series. They are the favorites to win the World Series. They will be the favorites when they get there. I expect them, if they play even approaching anything, they have 16 wins. Best in baseball is 18, and the Dodgers haven't had a good week yet.
Yeah. Right, they haven't been playing their best. One thing that might factor into all this is I was looking at the Cubs. You know, they're done with the Dodgers and the Padres.
Right.
Both of them.
They've played the Diamondbacks, too. They've got a few more left with them, but they've played nothing but good teams, and they're in first place. They're a good team.
No, they're good. Offensively, really good. I mean, that Pete Crow Armstrong, man.
He's a local guy. We let him get
know.
away.
He kills us. He kills the Dodgers.
Another rock fight tonight in Minnesota, John?
Oh, yeah. This is. I haven't had this much anticipation for a game in a long time. These two teams do not like each other. They are going to grab, hold, fight, trick, cheat. They're going to try and do everything to get it going. And I can't watch the results. But, Andy, I'm gonna say something, and you tell me, is it hyperbole, okay?
Sure.
Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the NBA right now.
Right now?
Right this second. He's better than Jokic. He's better than Luka. He's better than Ant. Shea, better than all of them right this second today.
It is certainly possible. Like, I would have to give it thought to definitively come up with an answer, but it does not feel, John, like hyperbole that you're throwing this out there for us to think about. Not at all.
I think the Clippers are going to win this series in 5, guys, and I think they're going to give OKC all they can handle. I don't know if they're going to beat them, but I think that series is going 7, and if Kawhi keeps playing like he's playing, the Clippers can take him out.
How crazy is it, by the way, that if what you're talking about, John, happens, the OKC Clippers series will take place without Paul George, the guy that sort of got all of this happening on both sides.
Right.
Like, Shea is a member of the Thunder because of Paul George wanting to join the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is with the Clippers because Paul George was going to be a part of that package. Andy, George has nothing to do with this anymore.
Andy, not only that, look at what they did with the picks they got in the Paul George trade. Guys like Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren. And, I mean, it's going to go down as one of the most lopsided trades in NBA history. And Mason's heard me say this. I don't know if I've been wrong a lot in my career, but I don't know if I've ever been as wrong as I was at the start of this season when I lambasted the Clippers for keeping Kawhi and letting Paul George walk.
You weren't alone for what it's worth.
Me too.
Yeah, I was
you were not alone.
That's a long line.
John, real quick, the idea of it being lopsided, that trade, would you feel the same way if the Clippers won it all this year? Because that trade ultimately helped them get Kawhi.
Oh,
and
that's
Kawhi's
a good
going to
question.
be instrumental to them
I think
winning
that's
it.
I think that's an excellent point. And no, I would say, okay, then it worked out. But they haven't even made the finals since that trade.
I know.
They're one of the few teams in the NBA that's never been to the finals ever in team history.
Even going back to that point, they do it 100 times out of 100.
Sure.
Right? I mean, at the time,
nobody at the time said they were being stupid.
They took their shot, and that's all you can ever really ask. Sometimes it blows up in your face. Sometimes it works out exactly like you're hoping for.
They're an example of you can run an organization well, and it still doesn't work out.
They're really good, and there's a real like nothing weird has to happen. They'd have to beat a really good Oklahoma City team, but that wouldn't, like you said, John, it would be an upset, but it wouldn't be a no blanking way. It would be
well. Hey, to illustrate your point about how you can do, like Andy's point, you could do everything right and it still doesn't work out. The Thunder still haven't won a title. Everyone would love to be in the Thunder's position. They have the best record in the NBA. They have the draft controlled for the next 5 years. They're the youngest team in the NBA. Like, everybody looks to them as the model franchise. But if you never win a title, can you really say that?
Yes, because I think you ultimately have to judge on process rather than results. Results are often things that you can't entirely control.
Don't you have to have a little result, though?
Yeah, I judge on results. I don't judge on process. I think
most people judge on results.
I think if you go too heavily judging on results and only the end game, that's when you end up making more mistakes.
But don't you think the only thing that matters is results?
Okay, but let me ask you this. Would you rather be Oklahoma City, let's say between the last year and the next 5 or 8 years, and let's say they never win the whole thing, but they're really good.
Never win the whole thing.
And they're in it, but they're in it. They're good. They got a chance to win it year after year after year.
They're the Atlanta Braves.
They're the Atlanta Braves, or you are the Angels, who had a year, you win the whole thing, and then you got 20 years of nonsense.
Give me the title.
Really?
I think if you never win the title, Trav, if you never accomplish your goal, then I would take the team that has the title. You've got to win it.
But I imagine, though, the Thunder fans have had way more enjoyment of their team than Angel fans, even with that World Series title, have had with their team. It's been way more fun to be a Thunder
question.
team.
That's what I mean.
Mason's a Rams season ticket holder. He would tell you that if the Rams didn't win that one Super Bowl, that the job's not done yet.
Yeah.
But that's a different question. The job being done yet is not the same thing as who's doing a better job running their organization or what's actually more enjoyable.
Yeah, that if Aaron Donald doesn't get his hand on Joe Burrow, and they complete that pass, and they were in the Super Bowl, but they lost again. That'd be 2 Super Bowl losses. They've been really good through the entire Sean McVay era.
That doesn't mean McVay and Snead aren't good at their job.
Pretty good run.
Right. You know, Andy, you know what illustrates your point is the Niners. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are really good at their jobs. Hasn't led to a title, but they've had tremendous teams and tremendous runs. But I think if Lynch and Shanahan leave there in 10 years and they never got a title, they'll say we screwed it up.
That may be true. They'll say it's a disappointment, but like that doesn't mean they were bad at their job. Part of what we all love about sports is that they're unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
Like if all of the right decisions led to a championship every time, honestly, sports would be boring.
Ring culture, Andy.
Ring culture.
Rings with a Z.
You win it all, or you're a loser.
It is about rings.
Loser.
The whole season was a waste of time.
Second place sucks, Andy.
First loser. Super crossed up.
2 places in